last episode of the series, gentlemen.
I've enjoyed it, have you?
Yeah, very much so.
Favourite?
Ooh, Chris Samba
Yeah.
for me.
Do you know why? Probably just because of the surprise of it, I think.
And the story.
Yeah.
What a story. Although saying that, I think this episode is the biggest surprise of me of the series.
Yeah, good one,
Because it's a brilliant episode. And
Oh, I
more,
know that. I was there.
I think it's more my ignorance of not knowing that generation. Not ignorance, but just age-wise, not knowing that generation and not knowing
The whole
that much
story.
about Perry. And
I mean,
his
that
character.
last day of the season, the Arsenal-Liverpool, I'm hoping for another one this season with City. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think that's still being beat, has it?
Maybe
The
York.
permutations.
York Rochdale.
Who?
Who are they?
York Rochdale were quite good last
Well, what the
week.
Premier League, John?
Oh, right. I thought you meant the situation.
Have you got a cock cap on?
Got a cock cap on? You like it?
Cockerel.
Well, it's a cockerel, yeah. You like it?
Yeah, well, you know I like it.
Oh, cock. I'm not really a cap wearer. What do you think they suit me?
No.
Yeah, I think you look good.
Matty?
You look a bit like a train driver.
Is that the look you were going for?
Not sure. Not quite sure I'm going to take that as a compliment or not. Or what, but no. Thank you, everybody, by the way, for listening all series.
Yes.
Very much
And watching.
appreciated. And watching,
and
yeah.
the Patreons, we can't thank you enough.
Yeah, top
Keeping
people.
us going. Them while we're out of series, them 2 extra episodes will be coming out every month, won't they?
Yes, certainly will.
Anything else you wanna lay down before we pass on to our guest for the final time this
No.
series?
I think it looks all right, this app.
It's the shirt and shorts that's the issue, isn't it? Let's be honest.
I've never been at the height of fashion, Chris. You know that.
Thank
No,
you,
but yeah,
everybody.
Thanks to everyone.
See you next series.
Right, next series. Oh, but we're on here every Friday as well, aren't we?
Of course.
In between.
Can't get rid of us that easily.
No. Genital warts, we like.
I tell you what, in terms of having your own supporters behind you, not many I imagine, have released an autobiography and had the core fan starting not a petition, but we're going to get your book to outsell Ashley Cole's.
And Stephen Gerrard's
right? And Stephen Gerrard's.
Yeah, and Frank Lampard's. I don't want to talk about it. Like,
Did it happen?
Pardon?
Did it happen?
Yeah. The reason it was funny actually because I got a call. I was working for Franny Lee, the old Man City owner who's played for designing playgrounds for a company called Permaplay for primary schools, and got a call on my old car phone. No one just sit in the middle of the car like that. And someone went, "Oh yeah, hello Perry, it's John McShane here. We're interested in your autobiography." And I told him to fuck off because I thought it was one of my mates. Because me being like an average player at Arsenal, no one does your autobiographies, you know what I mean? So I like, fuck. And he phoned me back. And I said to him, all right, if I'm going to do it, I didn't think anybody would buy it. I said, if I do it, I've got to do it no holds barred, what happens behind rather than on the pitch, because everybody knows what goes on the pitch, whatever. So, all right, so I did it. And lucky enough, right at the same time, Ashley Cole did his autobiography, where he was disgusted with the 65 grand a week that Arsenal offered him, and then he crashed his car or whatever. So the Arsenal fans went, you're a twat, we're going for Groves's. So that's what it was. So
you say lucky enough, but most people would be like, oh, Ashley Cole's is coming out at the same
no,
time.
I've seen him go, cheers, Ashley, top man. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause he got me a right few quid. So it was all right. So you sort of about like sliding doors moments. Sliding doors
I've not read Ashley Cole, but I can imagine it like, oh yeah, we were playing the Champions League final, we were like the semi-final of the World Cup. Nobody wants to read that bit anyway, do they?
Because, and whilst he was still playing and still in football, you're not going to really slaughter anybody, are you? Because you want to be everybody's mate. Whereas I could just like go no holds barred. I could go like bare knuckles. So it was all right.
Being from down here, down in London, how did you end up at Wolves as a young lad?
That was random. Like in the old days, there was no academies. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing like, because these days they take them embryos, didn't they? Put them in a birthing pool, put them in academy, whatever. So I was playing, I grew up in Great Cornard, Sudbury in Suffolk. So I'm an East London boy, I'm a Cockney, born in Bow. So we moved out when I was about 4. And it was called the Overspill, where you go out and you get a council house like in Sudbury. And we was really posh actually because we had got an indoor toilet. So I was like, I tell my boys, honestly, generational stuff. When I tell my two boys, Lewis and Drew, that we never had an indoor toilet when I was a kid, they're like, what? What do you mean? I said, no, we had an outdoor toilet and shared it with the terraced house next door. So we shared an outdoor toilet with no toilet. Remember the old tracing toilet paper? You used to do it and just
Cut your ass.
just right up your back. Didn't it? And every little kid at school stunk of shit, didn't they? You think, yeah, because you got the tracing paper. But so we moved out and I played for a team, their local football called Cornard Dynamos. And then my best mate's dad, Mick Brown, Warren Brown was the best mate playing the same team, used to write off for trials basically, just write off to all different clubs when I was about 13 or 14. So I went everywhere. I went Peterborough, Colchester, Ipswich, Nottingham Forest, randomly Wolves. And Wolves said, yeah, we'll give you a trial. So I went up, had a trial with all the other kids as well and did really, I used to be like a centre midfield player. And then they said, we'll give you schoolboy forms. Yeah, so in the old days, it was schoolboy 14 to 16. And then when you got to 16, it was whether he was going to take you on as like an apprentice. So I was up there all school holidays, all the time. And I lived, Sudbury was a good 4.5, 5 hours away from Wolves. And my old man, who's my hero, he took me, when I was a kid, he took me everywhere. I think he missed 2 games from when I was 6 to 16. He only said, well, played twice, I think, in those 10 years. So I was craving his approval all the time. And I thought he was going to drive me up there. And he went, bollocks, away you go. Just put me on the train. 14, said, if you want to be a footballer, you got to grow a pair of sunshine, do one. So I used to get the train, just sitting there, being like a little kid, sitting there 14. But the great thing about it was, in the old days, when you get to a certain age, there's certain magazines you start reading. And there was this kiosk at Liverpool Street where I could go and get Nave, Men Only. So it was a massive bonus. You don't have to work hard these days for your porn, do you? Young kids, in those days, you
don't know the struggle we went through,
well, no, exactly. The thing is, in the old days, well, I could do that, which was great, or you'd find a stash of it somewhere, wouldn't you, in some field or some bush, do you know what I mean? So
Tickets play, oh no, just walk straight past.
No, you're right, exactly, yeah. But reading it actually on the train going up, I think was a bit strong. But,
And was was financial difficulties that they didn't offer you
No, I'll tell you exactly. Wolves were a really good side at that time. I think they won the League Cup in 1980. They had like Emlyn Hughes was playing at centre half with George Berry, Kenny Hibbert, Andy Gray up front. And so the big D-Day is when you're 16. Do you know what I mean? That is like, I'd never been told that someone thought I wasn't any good. I was always the best player in the centre midfield and best player in the school and district, whatever. And I can remember again, there's no mobile phones or anything like that. So it was a letter. They send you a letter. So they send you a letter out to say whether you're going to be signing on apprenticeship forms or not. And that's like the path of your life. Do you know what I mean? All I wanted to do was be a footballer. It wasn't about money. Never ever. You're probably like the same. Like I never thought on Match of the Day that players got paid. Do you know what I mean? You just watch Match of the Day and you think, I want to be a player. And I remember sitting at home and the envelope dropped through the letterbox and I opened it. And I remember the first lines were, Dear Perry, due to financial constraints, we are sorry to inform you that we're not going to offer you an apprenticeship at Wolverhampton Football Club. What it really meant was, piss off, you ginger twat, you're useless. We don't think you're any good. That was just a nice way of putting it. And your Barnet clash with our kit. Do you know what I mean? So they played in the back.
So that ginger bar.
Ginger bar, exactly, yeah. So there's no ginger diversity back then. You know, you have to like tick the boxes. And I was absolutely fucking devastated. My world fell apart. I was done at 16. I thought, I ain't going to be a footballer. They've told me I'm no good. And I can remember sitting up in my bedroom, crying my eyes out, and my dad was a long-distance lorry driver. So he
You think I'll get a magazine from under the bed?
well, no, exactly, yeah. I used to go on the keys. So and I'm sitting there, and I remember my dad coming in, and he's like, where's the boy? He never called me, but he always called the boy. Where's the boy? I thought, I'm an only kid. My name's Perry. Just call me my name. Do you know what I mean? So he said, well, where's the boy? And she went, oh, he's upstairs in his room. Wolves has said that they're not having him. He said, it's the first time, honestly, he said to me, I think that you're good enough. He said, but it's not enough if I think you're good enough. You've got to think you're good enough, and you've got to have the desire, and you've got to have the heart to want to be a footballer. He said, if you do, I will take you everywhere. There's 92 clubs. He said, you need one coach to say, yep, I think you're good. So I went, all right. And then he took me again. I went all trials everywhere, like different places. Peterborough, we're going to offer him an apprenticeship. and their manager was Peter Morris at the time, and there was a fella called Graham Scarf in charge of the youth team, and I played for Peterborough. I remember I played for Peterborough youth team against Tottenham youth team, and I played really well. And obviously they had all the best players. They had Carl Hoddle playing in centre midfield, Glenn Hoddle's brother. And so it took me up into the office, and I can remember thinking, and Graham Scarf told me, we're going to sign you as apprentice. Like, bring your dad to the game. I played in the reserves from on a Tuesday, and there was another lad. Well, I was 16. This pro was about 21, and he was centre midfield, and he never passed me in the whole game because he knew I'm trying to take his place. Do you know what I mean? So he's that ruthless. Do you know what I mean? And he didn't help me. He was like, I was like trying to pass to him, weren't making the right angles, whatever. His name was Tim. I never trusted Tim's. Do you know what I mean? Tim, you think, no, it's a weird name, and he can do one. So I remember being up in the office with my dad, Peter Morris, the manager, Graham Scarf, and I just thought I was going to sign an apprentice. I mean, that's going to be the best day of my life. So we sit there. I think I'm already going to sign. So you look at Graham Scarf, and you know when someone's face ain't right, and he's sort of just staring like that. So Peter Morris, the manager, he went, yeah, I've just seen you, Perry. Just play out there. He said, I'm not sure about you. I don't think you're going to be good enough. He said, you're not as good or better than Tim, who played. And my dad went, well, he's 5 years older than him. Do you know what I mean? He said, he's been playing full-time all the time. And he went to say something else, and from behind me, I remember my dad running and launched himself, and he grabbed Peter Morris by the throat and had him up against the wall. So, you fucking doing it, my kid? You don't think you're that? And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't think I'm going to sign for Peterborough. That was it. So that was
the chance that I had, you might have just fucked that.
Yeah. So that was done. And then Colchester said, we'll sign as apprentice. So I signed there, when I was 16 as apprentice there.
And how far is that from your family home?
Randomly, it is 15 miles, which is about 25 minutes. So I signed as an apprentice, and my dad went, off you go and get yourself digs. And I'm like, it's only up the road, I can try. He went, bollocks. I said, honestly, he went, you got to grow a pair, sunshine. You got to flipping make sure that you're self-supporting, and there's a big wide world out there. So all the other apprentices, when I told them I was in digs, they thought I'd come from Midlands or something like that. And I go, no, I live in Sudbury. They go, well, don't your dad like you very much? I said, well, fucking, so I was you made me go and stay in digs. But again, it's about growing up. Do you know what I mean? And it's, you guys know, when you're in as well, it's a tough, when you're even coming as an apprentice, when you're first year apprentice, and you're with the second year apprentices, you're the one, you're the new kid, do you know what I mean? You're the new kid on the block.
Yeah, it's looked after you, hasn't he? Your dad.
Yeah.
In his way.
Yeah. He's my hit. If it wasn't for my dad, people know him now. He lives up in Norfolk, and I'm but he's known as Ginge. Because they're very imaginative with their nicknames, aren't they, in the old days, because he had ginger hair. So, but he took me everywhere. And what it was, the reason that he didn't say well played very often is because he didn't want me to be complacent. Do you know what I mean? And I was always craving always wanting to crave his approval. And he used to go in goal, the old thing, where you go in goal, you have jump for goal posts, and dad goes in goal, whatever. And to say he was competitive, he made Judy Murray look like Mother Teresa. Honestly, it was like, like the Fast Show, competitive dad. I don't think I scored past him till I was about 13. He was diving. I think we had the
one through his legs.
Nothing. No. I can remember the first one, the first time in the garden. And when you think he's going to build my confidence up, and he flipping shot at it like a cannon, like 100 mile an hour. Honestly, and I took a touch, which was quite unusual for me. Took it out, my feet was quite good like that. And I thought, get a shot. I remember this big star shape coming towards me and smothering me, honestly, knocking me over and booting the ball. He said, too slow, sunshine. Get the ball out your feet. When you're in playing at the top level, you ain't going to get out of time. And he booted it. And I think that's why my finishing was shit when I got older. Do you know what I mean? I had PTSD when I was like, fucking hell. So, but yeah, he's my hero.
You mentioned being apprentice, and especially first year, it's intimidating. Did you go in and you were seen and not heard? Did you keep your head down? No, I was, I'm ginger. You have to go, even if you're right, you have to front it, didn't you? Like, and I can remember, because when you're an apprentice, it's the local paper, it's the Evening Gazette, obviously the local
paper. So they come and just do a little interview with you, a new apprentice signed for Colchester. And I can remember having a picture taken with a broom, because in the old days you did the baths, didn't you? The changing rooms, you did the pitch, you did the stands after the game had played, whatever. So I remember with a broom and standing there with my apprentice training kit. And in the interview, they said, what are your ambitions, whatever. So I actually said, and there was two really good. Remember Roger Osborne? You scored the winning goal for Ipswich in the FA Cup in '78 against Arsenal. So
I weren't even born.
Well, you weren't born flipping out. I'm like last of the summer wine. So Roger Osborne scored the winning goal for Ipswich Town in the '97 Cup final against Arsenal, and he was playing in centre midfield. So he's obviously a good player. And in the old days, the top players used to drop down the leagues, didn't they? Because they still needed to earn the money. And a centre midfield player called Steve Leslie, and I remember saying in the interview, I'll give it a couple of months, but I expect to be in the first team by Christmas. Right? So they printed that in the paper, and imagine all the senior players going, who the fucking hell did this ginger or fucking twat think that I could hear them talking about me in the dressing room? Because in the old days, you used to have a knock on the dressing room to go in and put the pot of tea, didn't you, on the front, and then pick the kit up and they go, put it over there, fucking put it over there. So, if you look back, I wasn't media trained. Do you know what I mean? If I look back, you think, calm yourself down just a little bit. But and it's tough. It tests you, because everybody, you're trying to take other people's jobs. You know what I mean? In apprentice, you're trying to take the pros' jobs. Second year apprentices have been there, and I was the worst apprentice.
Yeah.
I was useless.
Jobs and
what,
stuff?
you're going to be jobs? I was like, fuck your jobs off. I ain't come here to be the best broom sweeper of all. I ain't come here to be the best bath cleaner. I used to get called up to Bobby Roberts was the manager, and I used to get called up to his office probably 3 or 4 times a week and say, you lazy bastard. You've been told, like Tom Cheney was the groundsman who I was in digs with, and the kit man used to say that you're not doing your jobs properly. And I was 16. And even then I said to him, I remember saying to him, I ain't come here to sweep the terraces. I ain't come here to, and he must have thought, you flash little twat. And fucking, so I used to say, and like that, I said, I've come here to be as good a footballer as I can be.
I bet deep down he loved it though.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah. He's got to come down on you quite heavy, but I bet in the back of his mind he's like, fair fox to you.
Yeah, but the thing as well, what it does is you end up being that brash, you end up putting yourself under pressure as well.
Yeah.
Because then you have to and I did generally think I was playing in centre midfield, and I was looking at the pros in the team, and I was actually thinking I'm better than you. But if you don't believe it, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? You ain't going to drive yourself on. So I can remember just being over at the community area where I was just whacking the ball up against the wall, right foot, left foot, and they're all doing their jobs and like trying to find me when I'm just hiding.
Were you true to your word, by the way? Did you get in the first team?
Yeah. So I got in the team 3 weeks before my 17th birthday. Yeah.
I'm just walking in like that.
Yeah.
You want lads?
I took the Gazette with me when I told you. Look, see like that. But,
clean them, son. With a boot.
But I made my debut at Layer Road against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth were flying at the time. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, this game could be in the papers tomorrow because like they're going to win the league, and I've hit the post, so I might get a mention. I've never been like local papers, never been in the national papers, and I bought about 15 national papers, and it was the old News of the World, and there was a little report about that big, like it said, Bournemouth, Colchester 1, Bournemouth 2, and then the next little paragraph was. Debut making 16-year-old Terry Grouse hit the inside the post. I'm like, fucking Terry Grouse. I'm trying to tell people that's me. So every time for mates, all right,
Not even a good name, is it? Terry Grouse.
Terry Grouse. It's like, so all my mates were like, all right, Tezza, all right, Grousey. That was for about 6 months. I thought, thanks for that.
What was the crack with the car after your debut?
Oh, what, the Vauxhall Viva? Yeah, my old man said that if I got in the first team before I was 17, he'd buy me a car. And I thought it'd be like a Capri, or you know what I mean? Like, and he bought me this old shitty like Vauxhall Viva for about 80 quid. And it was the old one. Remember the Opportunity Knocks where you had the clap on and when it used to go up like that. So that was the speed on and just go like that. If you get to it's like 50, you're doing like 55. You know what I mean?
Shuddering.
Yeah.
By
exactly,
the way, back then a Capri's like the bollocks.
Full Capri gear. Oh yeah, with a big long bonnet. That was like girls, all right, ladies. Yeah. I bought one in the end when I got my first pro contract. So yeah.
Fair play.
He played with Tony Adcock. And at the time, did you think all the scouts were coming to watch him?
100%. Another ginger. By the way, we were the Ginger Ninjas. So he was playing. He played up front, and Tads was unreal. I was playing, and what happened was I got in the team really quickly, and then another manager called Cyril Lee took over, and he used to be Bobby Robson's number 2 when he was at Ipswich, and Cyril Lee was all about running, and when I was a midfield player, I was like, get it, give it, and he dropped me. He bombed me out of the team, and I didn't play for about a year. And lucky enough, I had a 2-year, because they saw me as a prospect. When I signed pro 17, they gave me a 2-year contract, obviously 17 to 19. But he bombed me out. And I remember Cyril Lee pulling me in his office, and I hadn't played in the first team for a good 3 or 4 months. And he went, we're going to let you go. Right? So I'm like 18 and a half-ish. Still got a bit of bollocks as well like that. So what do you mean let me go? He said, we decided, like, you ain't going to get in the team, you can go. So I said, well, I've still got nearly a year on my contract. If you can let me go, I want some money. And he sort of went like, they know I'm like an 18-year-old going, really? Like that? I said, yeah. I said, I was on 100 quid a week. Oh, no, £75 a week I was on. So I said, well, you got to give me about £3,500. And he went, you cheeky fucking ginger, whatever. You think we're going to pay you to go? I went, well, what do you mean? You just go for nothing. So he said, well, you're never going to play in the first team whilst I'm here. So I went, all right, see you later. So I just went out. And then in my head, my attitude changed, because I was, even though I was, wanting to be as best I could be, I was a team player, I was a part, and in the end I thought, bollocks. And he played me out of position on purpose, so he put me from centre midfield onto the right wing, because I was really quick, to fuck me over, basically. You know what I mean? I'll put you out there, and it's the best thing he ever did, because I started playing for myself and I was really quick. And then I got back in the team within about 3 or 4 months and started playing on the right wing. And then you said Tony Adcock was scoring bundles of goals up front. And all the scouts were watching. We used to play Friday nights at Ageuro, which was fucking brilliant, because you got the weekend off, so it was fucking brilliant. But there was always scouts there, loads of scouts there, because they got their mileage, didn't they? Like pretending they were watching the game, and they took their mistresses there on a Friday. Do you know what I mean? That's what it was. It was all their girlfriends. So like, I'll take you out on a Friday.
Stanford for here we go in Colchester again.
Yeah, really. But they all come to watch Tads, because he was scoring bundles of goals. Like he was getting 20, 25 goals before Christmas. And then I started playing really well. And then you get a bit of a reputation then goes, you know what I mean? So the 2 ginger ninjas up front. Yeah, so.
But at that time, are you blasé to all the reputation and stuff? Are you just happy that you're playing?
Yeah, I'm
playing well.
Yeah, but then what happened was, then your confidence grows a little, because I was, fuck it, Manny don't rate me anyway. So if he bollocks me, ain't going to make a difference to me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
start playing with more freedom.
Yeah, and as well, again, it's a ruthless thing. I just thought I'll play for myself. Yeah. And if I'm playing for myself, I got a bit greedy, where I was like taking fullbacks on 1v1, and I was quick and whatever. And you put me back in, so then I started to score a few goals as well. So then your reputation then builds up, from other clubs. Yeah. So, and then I was tapped up by Crystal Palace, because I scored 10 goals one season. No, 12 goals one season. And then I was in the middle of scoring 15 goals the next.
Where were Palace at that time?
Second division. Yeah, so It was Steve Coppell was just taken over. So they were going to be like the team of the 80s, do you know what I mean? Where they were all the young players playing. And they had a coach called Alan Smith, not big known as Alan Smith. I played with like for Arsenal, but Alan Smith, I remember him phoning me up and saying, oh, Perry, it's Alan Smith here. And I pretended I knew who it was, but I didn't. All right, how is it going? Oh, like he said, see, I'm at Crystal Palace. I went, oh, okay. And in my head, I'm thinking, Palace, second division. Not bad, like 4th to 2nd. And he went, we've been watching you play. We know you're very raw and you're unbelievably quick. He said, but we're changing things here at Palace. We've got a good young set of players. He said, and we want desire and hunger, which you have. He said, but, but we're going to play you as a centre forward. And trust me, because of my dad, I can hit a cow's ass with a banjo. Do you know what I mean? I weren't, when people go, they're centre forwards and they're 8, I wasn't a centre forward, no way. And he said, we're going to play up front, and we've just found this young black centre forward playing in non-league football in South London called Ian Wright. Fuck knows what happened to him. Yeah, so again, they was going to play me up front with Wrighty, as they'd just got him at Palace. And they said, we put in a bid, I think they put in a bid about 40 grand, and Coach said no. But I wasn't allowed to know that I knew. Do you know what I mean? Because they'd tap
so
me
you
up.
couldn't push. You couldn't push for it.
No, and it's a weird thing as well. In my head, I just thought, I wonder if they're sending out scouts out, and I wonder if they're watching me train. Do you know what I mean? And so I didn't go, I'm going to get a move. I'm the best player. I always trained to my maximum, just in case anybody was. I thought in my head, in case anybody was watching, see what your attitude would like. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And if you think back, being an Arsenal fan, was it just a pipe dream that eventually Arsenal are going to come in?
No, what a pipe dream. No, it was
confident.
No, I didn't. I wanted to be. I knew again. I did another interview when I said,
"This sounded
exactly.
I'm in Arsenal."
I think I need a media agent. You know what I mean? So, but because I got to at that time, I was 20, 21, and I thought I'm too good for Colchester. And I was too good for the 4th division. Do you know what I mean? You know, when you think, I want to go and test myself. I want to go and step up a level. And I thought, this is my time now. So I put in loads of in the old days, you put in written transfer requests, didn't you? And they go, fuck off, you ain't going anywhere. And then, so because my Uncle Vic Groves was captain of Arsenal in the 50s, all my family are Gooners, all the way.
I'm going to ask that, because obviously you were born West Ham bit, weren't you?
Yeah, I escaped. I didn't have the West Ham misery. Do you know what I mean? I escaped. So I was born, but because obviously my dad used to go and watch Vic Groves play, and with my granddad and all that, so they were all like Gooners, like proper Gooners.
Do you think it was a wind-up when you got the call?
Yeah. Well, I had randomly, I had a financial, he's blessed, he's not with us anymore, a financial advisor called John Hazel. So he used to give me advice about my finances, charge me for it, even though I had no fucking money. Do you know what I mean? But he was brilliant. He was like mortgage advisor, pension. You know, when you're 20, 21, you don't think about pensions. You're like, whatever. But so he got in contact with me on September the 4th, on a Tuesday, and he said, Perry, Colchester just accepted a bid of 75 grand. And I thought he said, I'm going to Palace, because I'd been tapped up by Palace. So I'm thinking, happy days, I'm going Palace. And he went, Arsenal have just come in. I said, stop right there, John, you can fuck off. I said, that don't happen. Because he knew I was a gooner. He knew that what it was. And I said, don't be doing that. You're not funny. You ain't funny. I know we're going to Palace. He went, dickhead. He said, we're going to Arsenal on Thursday, September the 6th. So I didn't tell my dad, because I still thought it might be a wind up. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't know. So I went up on the Thursday, and he was going through on the train, like, what we're going to ask for this, blah, blah, blah. And they
still thinking it's a wind up.
Yeah, because I said, whatever, John, don't be daft. And then we got to Arsenal Tube Station. And you get to Arsenal Tube Station on the Piccadilly line, and you turn left, and you go right up Avenel Road. And I then started thinking, I know, because this is a meeting, clandestine meeting sort of thing. Crystal Palace, South London team, we're meeting in North London. Do you know what I mean? We're meeting in North London, so no one knows what's going on, blah, blah, blah. It's like just in my head. And we walked up. In the old days, they used to have this commissionaire outside the old marble halls called Nobby, and he had all the regalia on, like uniform. You know, it's like, looked like he was in the army, basically. So he said to John Hazel, good morning, Mr. Hazel, welcome to Highbury. George Graham will see you up in his office, like that. And I thought, well, he knows him because John had Ian Allinson as his agent. And Allinson was at Colchester. He'd gone from Colchester up to Arsenal. So I thought, and he went, good morning, Mr. Groves. Welcome. I went, fucking, he knows my name. That geezer knows my name. How does he know? And then it was just a blur. It was just like, oh my God, like going in the marble halls, Herbert Chapman bus, going up the marble staircase and going to see like the gaffer. He made it brilliant. You go through this big oak door. You can smell the history. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and do you remember Wizard of Oz where he sits in that massive chair right at the end? Like, so George Graham's just this fuck off massive chair like that, and he puts you on like a little stool about that big. It's like Dennis Waterman. Right, the theme tune. He's sitting there like that. And in my head, I'm thinking, I can't wait to tell my dad. I can't wait to tell my dad where I am and what's happening here. I'm just looking around, and he's talking about what he's going to do with the club. He's going to change the culture. He's going to bring players with heart and desire, get rid of a few players, you know, who are just going through the motions, blah, blah, blah. And I remember him saying to me, again, it's again, sliding doors moments. He said, I've been watching your career with great interest. He said, I first saw you play when you were 16 for Colchester United youth team against QPR youth team in the old FA Youth Cup at Loftus Road. Do you remember? It was just, you know, these 4 or 5G pitches now. It was concrete with a bit of carpet. That was it. With like the plastic pitches,
Sand on it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and it used to bounce, and it'd go over the stand. You know, you go right. We got a ball. There's no multi balls. You only work a ball. Go. It's gone in the fucking road. Right. All right. So I remember him saying, and we lost that game 7-0 because QPR had about 5 England youth internationals, and we had me and Andy Goodin, and all the other lads were going to college. So we didn't have even full-time like apprentices. So I said to him, we lost 7-0 that game. I said, I must have played well in midfield, give it. We went, I have no idea you fucking played. So I'm like, what? He went, I have no idea. I went, well, you just said, you remember, he said, from the first minute to the last minute, you didn't stop moaning at the referee, moaning at your own team, moaning at your coaches. He said your knees were bleeding, you was doing slide tackles. And what he said was, obviously ginger ale helped, but he said, your attitude was exactly the same at 0-0 as what it was at 7-0 when you were losing. So that stayed in his head. And then obviously in the old days, I used to get all the old, like the Greenham was our local football paper. You got the Pink 'Un, and whatever. So I used to read all the reports. And so that's when obviously I started playing well, and I used to phone up all the local reporters to see what your attitude was like. So that was the detail he used to go into, yeah. And
Mad that, innit?
Yeah. But he had what you needed, what he wanted at the time.
Yeah,
like you said, that desire.
It's just that stuck in his head.
Yeah. Well, he said, I can remember as well, I can remember him saying, he said, I will make you better. He said, you're rough around the edges, do you know what I mean? Which I was. Like he said, I can make you better technically, I can make you better tactically, but one thing I cannot do is put desire into someone. He said, I cannot put a heart in. He said, and that's what you've got, and I'm going to change the culture here. And so I was like, normally, George Graham only been there since the summer. So this is September. So normally your first signing is a big marquee signing, it like it was like centre forward scored it, and then it was like, who the fuck is this gingerhead fucking
Terry
winger?
Grouch.
Terry Grouch from fucking Colchester United. What the? And so the Arsenal fans were like, yeah, really? But what he did, and he did exactly what he said, because they had some really, really top players like Kenny Sansom, Charlie Nicholas, Graham Ricks, Viv Anderson at right back, Dave O'Leary. But what he said he was going to do is he was going to ease those players out and get in hungry players. So he changed the cut. He ended up signing Lee Dixon, Steve Bold, Brian Marwood, Alan Smith, Nigel Winterburn, Kevin Richardson, all from I think Smudge was Leicester, Dicko and Boldy were from Stoke. So so that was the first signing where he was going to change the culture. Yeah, so I was like...
And all them lads coming in tick that first box, I imagine.
Yeah, like heart and hunger. You have to, like the hunger. And I can remember sitting in, and he said to me, I was on 150 quid a week at Colchester. And so then it gets to contract what he's going to offer me. So my dad always said to me, when you're going in for a contract, I had John Hazel with me as well, do not accept the first offer. It's like buying and selling a house, do you know what I mean? The sellers want it as high as possible, the buyers come in as low, and in the end, you just end up negotiating. So he said to me, I'll give you 350 quid a week. And I'm like, fuck me, I can buy a helicopter. I can buy a fucking brand new Capri. Because I know it don't sound a lot, but 150 to 350 is a bit, back then was big, jump.
Yeah, 150%.
Yeah, and he goes, I'll give you, I think of Carol Vorderman, and he's on fire. Where'd he go with that? That's good. Can you be my agent later on?
We're not going to be at the end of this, though, are we?
Yeah.
That's John.
Yeah, so then he went, we'll give you a 3-year contract. I never ever had more than a 2-year one. So I thought, wow, he said, we give $5,000 sign-on fee, and we'll give you £5,000 relocation fee. So I'm like, whoa. And then my dad's thing came in, like, do not accept the first offer. So in my head, I went through what I was going to say. I thought, what I would say is, thank you, Mr. Graham, for your first offer, but I think I'm better than that. I want 450 quid a week. I want $7,500 sign-on fee, and I want $7,500 relocation fee. So that's what I thought I was going to say. What came out of my mouth was, thank you very much, Mr. Graham. I was like, what? Yeah, I was like that. Like hugging him, kissing him, like love bites everywhere. And
They offered me 300 to start with, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had to go and lie to him, exactly, yeah. But then I can remember thinking, like, oh my God, I just signed for Arsenal. What the fuck? And John Hazel come down. So I said, I've got to go find my dad. So I ran down the marble staircase, ran out of the marble halls. And in the old days, there was what the young kids wouldn't know, there was telephone boxes, you know, like the payphone. Yeah. So I had my 50p. So I phoned my dad, and he was running a pub in Ipswich at the time, which I was living with him in the pub in Ipswich. And So I phoned him, I went, you all right, boy? I went, my name's fucking Perry. I went, all right, boy, how's it going? So I went, yeah, so how'd it go? So he doesn't know anything about, I'm going to Arsenal. So I went, Dad, I just signed for Arsenal. And he went, you ain't that fucking good. All right. I went, oh, cheers, Dad. Thanks a lot. He went silent, and he's not an emotional man, really. And I could hear the emotion in his silence, if you know what I mean. I could hear that he was a bit choked up, whatever. So he went, oh, boy, that's good, boy, isn't it? That's good. I went, yeah, Dad. I went, Dad, I've made it. He went, have you fucked? You're their worst player. All right, cheers. But he was right. So I went from Colchester's best player with Tony Adcock to Arsenal's worst player, because then you have to, you know what it's like.
But he's giving you that fire again, and he's saying, yeah, you signed for Arsenal.
Calm yourself down. You got to start. You got to start again. Yeah, and I can remember turning up, training at London, Watford train at our training ground now, because Arsenal bought all the land next to it. So that was on the Thursday. So on the Saturday, Arsenal playing against Spurs in the obviously North London derby. And he said, look, you normally train with reserves, but just come training tomorrow at London Coney. So I used to have to drive A12, M25, and I had this old MGB GT, like the old vintage sports car, which was a bag of shit, but I thought I looked the bollocks in it. I was like that. And I can remember it was flipping steam coming out the bonnet, fucking. So I came in the training ground at London Coney. I was like the clam pit, sort of like that. And I can remember Charlie Nicholas, Viv Anderson and Kenny Sansom standing there, and all this smoke coming out of the fucking engine or whatever. And I got out and I went, morning, like that. And they went, all right, mate, yeah, the groundsman's office over there. So they thought I was the new grounds boy. So I said, no, I've just signed for Arsenal. I'm just coming around. And they went, oh, how are you doing? Well played. They didn't know I was. Didn't have a clue. Yeah, so then it's like, and you know what it's like when you go in training, you're on trial. First of all, you're in the dressing room. Yeah. They're all looking at you, say how big your knob is first, and everyone looks around like that, see what that. And then the next thing is you're training, and they're thinking, the fucking hell's this? What's he? So you have to, in the evening training, you have to prove yourself again.
And how do you think you did improving yourself that first few sessions? Did you fit in? Did you think I'm out of my depth?
I did have a bit, as you probably gather, when I was at Coach, I had a bit of arrogance, a bit of swag, right? But I can remember going, oh, what a great boy. I was telling everybody what a great boy it was. Oh, brilliant, well played, Rocky, David Rocastle. Oh, Charlie, what a touch that was. Oh, sorry about that. It was my fault. Like, just saying please and thank you to all of them. Just trying to get on their side, basically. So it's... looking back, I don't think I really realised the magnitude of it. Like, say, 4th division to 1st division to Arsenal. I think I was just so sort of taken away by the emotion of it, and it's like didn't really have time to think. And he said to me, "You ain't going to play in the first team for about a year because because this thing is what does my." Before I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here, right? This closing down now, this Genga pressing, counter pressing. They think this is all new. Liverpool and us, we were doing that back in the 80s. Ian Rush was the best fucking presser that you've ever seen. So George Graham had a real distinctive way of playing. It was the front two. It was always 4-4-2. Everybody played 4-4-2. So the two front players press. You show people inside, then you got them inside, and then you went and pressed again. So it was all for tactically for me to take that on was quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? And the pace of the training was like up tenfold. Like the way they passed the ball and how quick it was, and they could see pictures. What they was going to do in the next third pass. So getting used to that was quite. But I was lucky because I was quick. Then I fitted into how he wanted to close down. Do you know what I mean? And because I'd run and close and be a nuisance. So I wasn't lazy at Colchester, but I wasn't bothered about tracking back foot. You know what I mean? I'm too good to track fullback. Fuck off. I'm going that way.
You're at Arsenal.
You're at Arsenal. You don't track back. You're done. Do you know what I mean? So so I had to prove yourself again. I remember my first game for Arsenal reserves. I remember we beat Palace 5-2 and I scored twice. And what you do is you think, that just calms me down. Do you know what I mean? It just shows people that you're good enough to be here, sort of thing. So it just takes the pressure off a little bit. I remember sitting in the car and my dad sitting, I was 21 at the time. And he went, right, boy, and I'm thinking, I'm buzzing. I'm thinking, fucking hell, I've just scored twice in the reserves, first game, blah, blah. And he gave me the, how do you think you played, talk. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck off, Dad. He went, how do you think you played, boy? So I went, no, I did all right. I said a couple of good crosses, took my goals right, blah, blah, blah. He went, give yourself a mark. So I went, 7. He went, what, out of 20? And I think, I'm 21. I don't need the fucking talk in the car. Like, every kid goes through, doesn't it? Like, how do you think you played? You did that, whatever. Yeah, so, and then lucky enough, like the gaffer had said I wouldn't be anywhere near the first team for about a season. And Graham Ricks got injured. And he pulled me in his office because I played well in the reserves and then played. And after that game, normally, even then, it was a Tuesday, you'd have the Wednesday off. And I got called in for extra training on the Wednesday. And you automatically think you've done something. I think, fuck, what have I done? You know what I mean? What have I done wrong? Like, normally when you get called in for extra training, it's a punishment, isn't it? It's like, what the fuck? So I didn't say, Theo Foley came in and we had the youth team and we went through my position without the ball. Like where he wants me to start, where he wants me to press, where he wants to get in, slide across, with the other 3 midfield players, protect your fullback. Went for about an hour and it didn't register in my head. I just thought, oh, maybe I wasn't doing that right in the game. And I got punished. And then he kept me after training on the Thursday, did the same thing. And Graham Ricks got injured and George Graham, the gaffer, pulled me in. He said, oh, Grovesy, he said, like what you do in the reserves, he said, I know you're right winger. Have you ever played on left wing? So I went, yeah, about a season and a half. I never played left wing in my life. You just lied, didn't you? You went, yeah, because Graham Ricks got injured.
He didn't fucking watch me that much, did he?
No, exactly. Yeah, he didn't read your papers, did you? What are you doing? So,
do you know Graham Ricks is injured?
Yeah, I think he'd done his calf or his Achilles, but it didn't register with me because I just thought I'm a right winger. Do you know what I mean? I don't. And I made my full debut against Nottingham Forest. I remember Kenny Sansom. So I'm shitting myself. I don't know about you guys, whatever, when you play. I don't believe players when they say they don't get nervous. I don't believe them. I don't believe that you don't get that feeling in your stomach, whether it's nerves or excitement. Do you know what I mean? Because if you don't, it means you don't care, doesn't it? It means you don't give a shit. So I remember feeling really nervous. And then Kenny Sansom, as we walked out, he was the captain, bouncing his ball like that. And he went, oh, just like to say, boys, congratulations to Grovesy making his full team debut for the magnificent Arsenal Football Club. They just like a round of applause. And he went, he looked at me and went, Grovesy, if in doubt, panic. And he just walked out like that. I went back in, cheers, Ken. But he was unreal.
Words the
Yeah,
wise.
exactly, yeah. So Ken was unreal. He was like, the gaffer wanted us to track back, whatever. And he said, don't worry, stay up there. I'll be all right. Because Ken was that good, do you know what I mean? So I go from playing for Colchester beginning of that season, and all of a sudden I'm playing like for the Gooners, which is like ridiculous.
We've had a lot of lads on from the Palace team, that Ian Wright and Bright, and they said that they were the main men, like they just ran the dressing room. What was his Wright like when he came to Arsenal?
He was. Me and him had a bit of an altercation first time he came, because he was obviously, him and Mark Bright were the two big stars at Crystal Palace. So Wright, he came, I think at the time it was about 3 million, which was like a British record at the time. And what happens is, it don't matter, I was like an average player. And then you had the international players, which were like, obviously, like the step up. You had like, obviously, Paul Mersons, Tony Adams, as I mentioned, Rocky Rocastle, Alan Smith, whatever. But the thing that was brilliant about us, we had no hierarchy. There was no big time Charlies. Do you know what I mean? There was no real stars who think, I can do what we're not. So everybody slaughtered everybody. You know what I mean? When you're at the team spirit, everybody's caning each other or whatever. So, and even me and Merce were probably the ones giving out the most, taking the piss out of what people wore or anything. I mean, so when Wrighty came, obviously we knew who he was, and he was like top striker. But again, going to Arsenal, it's a different level. So we just said, look, what we're going to do is he's going to come here like he's Ian Wright. We'll give him the yellow bib every training session, because in the old days, yellow bib, if you was the worst trainer, you wore the yellow bib like the next day. So we did it on a Friday. So that's the only day we used to do, have a little five-a-side on a Friday. It'd be North v South or Old v Young, whatever it was. After the game, you always voted for, and it was always whoever lost the yellow bib. Do you know what I mean? But I just said to all the lads, fuck that. Doesn't matter if he's on the winning team, losing team. Right, he gets the yellow bib. He gets the fucking yellow bib. We did it for a month, like every Friday for a month, getting the yellow bib. And I got the kit man, Tony Donnelly, Vic Akers was there. I said, Vic, do us a favour, have a look when we finish the five-a-side, and when you see it finish, just come out, we're all in the group, and just shout out, Righty, phone call for Righty, means you had a night minute. Phone call, Righty, phone call, and bring 2 yellow bibs out with you. So I went, oh, all right, Groves, yeah. So he came out, all the lads went in. So Vic comes out, righty. And Righty's, what the fuck, what? What the fuck would you want? He said, phone call, mate, phone call. You've had a stink up, get yourself in. Here's your yellow bibs like that. And he went, fuck off the yellow bibs, not right. Fuck off the yellow bibs, like threw them on the floor, like, and he lost it completely. And so we're all laughing and joking, think, fucking hell, I didn't think he was going to react like that. Fucking, whoa, what's happening here? And in London Coney, we had like showers in 2 dressing rooms, 8 first team players in one dressing room, 8 in another. And then up the end of the corridor, you had 5 like proper baths where you can go and have a bath. So back then I had like obviously Ginger Barnett, whatever. So I remember getting in the bath, there was me, Dave O'Leary, Tony Adams, I think Quinny was in there. So just having a chat, having a laugh. So I go, washing my hair, go down under the water, you know, to get all this like soap out, whatever, and the shampoo out. Come back up, right, he stood there in his full kit. So I'm like, right. He went, you ginger fucking twat, I've had enough of you. Fucking you haven't left me alone for fucking 3 weeks. Get yourself out now, me and you, we're fucking having it off like that. So all the other lads being the break, they go straight under the water. They're all like, fuck, here we go like that. So I'm like, shut up, right? I said, don't be daft. I said, what's this going to be? It's going to be women in love, like Oliver Reed and Alan Bates, where they wrestle in front of the fire and all that bollock naked. I went, fuck off. I said, and if it's grapping, you better bring your fucking mates with you. And because you have to front it. You can't back down. Like, Bartman went, you fucking ginger little fucking ginger. And he like walked out. So all the lads then all come back up. They went, fucking hell, that was a bit lively, crazy, wasn't it? Fucking like. So I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. Has he not got it? So I'm thinking, is he waiting for me? He weren't waiting for me. So the next day, we used to go to South Arts Golf Club pre-match. We're playing at home, have your beans on toast and whatever, game snooker. So I always like to get there early. So there's one car in the car park and I pull up and it's Wrighty's car. So I got out the car, he gets out the car and we start, like, what's Spaghetti Western? Walking towards each other. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck me, here it goes. And my dad always said to me when I was a kid, again, he's like tough. He said, boy, if you look like there's going to be a fight, you get the fucking first one in. You don't wait. So I've got my fence.
Have you cocked?
Yeah, I've got it ready to go. I'm like that, ready to go like that. And I'm thinking, I've got to clump our fucking British records. What's happening? And he come up to me like that. And as he got close to me, he put both his arms out, put his arms around me, gave him a massive hug, went, Grovesy, saw about yesterday, I lost me head a bit, blah, blah, blah. He went, right, and I just got out and I gave him a hug like that. And I said, Righty, I said, we're only mucking around. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and I know, because what Righty wasn't used to is getting that much stick and banter, probably
target
off the Crystal Palace players, because he, quite rightly, they ruled the dressing room. And I said, we're all the same, Righty. And me and him are real, like, big mates, get on great. And he got it. And he's a big character, you know, he's a big character. So he loved the fact that everybody, like, in him was slaughtering each other. Yeah. So I was.
Do you think you've had him? Do you think you'd have had him?
What? Yeah. Yeah, he's not here, is he?
Not Ian. Ian, come on, Ian.
And yeah, you're a special guest. But so it was just.
On the training, you know how you said, I can just remember that Arsenal team, like your Winterburn, Dixon,
Adams.
Bold.
Yeah.
It always seemed like they were so well done. Was training boring?
If I'm being honest, it probably was.
A bit because like Tony Pulis with us, it was boring as fuck.
Boring as fuck. But the thing is, what happens is with Tony Pulis, and I know he's like famous for the long balls and getting it in the channels and like corners. Who'd have thought you're allowed to score from free kicks these days and corners? Who'd have thought it? Do you know what I mean? So, but when you play, 70-80% of it is memory recall, isn't it? You just go into this mode where you know where you should be at certain times, especially for set pieces. And it was more on the functional play. We did loads of team shape, you know what I mean? Where, as you said about the back four, where they slide across. The fullbacks don't ever drop in behind the 2 centre halves because we were brilliant in the old days. Offside was offside. It was just what it was, you know what I mean? So, but then you would protect. And the back four were unreal. Like we had John Lukic at first, and then obviously we had the old first back four was Viv Anderson, Dave O'Leary, Tony Adams, Kenny Sansom. Then that changed what you said there to Dicko, Rodders, Tony Adams, Baldy and Nigel. And they were a brilliant back four with Dave Seamen, but fuck me, they got protected. Do you know what I mean? And George Graham said that he felt that his centre half especially and the back four, in your careers, if the team is defending properly, you should all play over 500 games. And he's right, they all did. But if you don't protect your foot, like Dicko on the right, or was it Rocky Rocastle, Anders Limpar came on the left, or me or Brian Marwood, if you didn't protect your fullbacks, you were done. And it is, but we knew what we were doing Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday. We knew every session that we were going to do, week in, week out. But it made us into a team that was unbelievably difficult to play against. You know what I mean?
You mentioned there that you got Wednesdays off, and I'm sure you get bored of people asking about the Tuesdays, the days out, the nights out.
Yeah.
Any stories in particular that?
Can't remember. No, no,
Genuinely.
No, but the Tuesday this is a strange thing. People, and obviously it's been documented about my alcoholism, and I'm in recovery now, whatever. The 5 founding members of the Tuesday Club were Paul Merson, Niall Quinn, Steve Bold, Tony Adcock and myself. 3 of us were in AA, so that went fucking well, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? So that was a good thing. But if you're going to do it properly. Do you know what I mean? But the Tuesday, I was teetotal before I went to Arsenal. I wasn't a drinker. I wasn't, because my dad said to me when I was a kid, Ben, boy, if you want to be a footballer, no drinking, no women. I listened to him on the drinking, the women thing, right? Like, I'm a footballer, I've got to kick the arse out of this, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So when you're a footballer, you like, when you're single, you go for it. You're like, where we go? But then I got to the Tuesday Club, and then Merce, who's like best mate, he was coming through the youth team and then the reserves, and me and him started being good mates. And then so we went out on the Tuesday, but we only went out if we won. We never went out if we drew or got beat, ever. Because it's not fair that the fans think you don't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? So that's where you see our celebrations on the Saturday. We're all kissing each other, hugging each other, because we know we're going to go out on the piss on the Tuesday. Yeah, so I was like, when I joined Arsenal, I was Cliff Richards. When I left Arsenal, I was Keith Richards. Do you know what I mean? and then played like Wendy Richards.
Is it right? He's used to train at Highbury on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, yeah. We again in the old days, because we were banned from Europe for 5 years because the Heysel disaster, which weren't great because obviously we didn't play. No English teams played in the European competitions. But on the positive side was there was very rarely any midweek games. You might play a League Cup game on midweek, and then you had the Mercantile Credit. They had a couple of cups that they invented, to give you more games. So we knew if we won on the Saturday, then we knew we'd have Sunday off. If you was injured, you went in for treatment. Monday at London Coney, doing all your team shape and whatever. Tuesday, running your bollocks off at Highbury, doing all the stands, around the pitches, and you'd be done by 12. And it was like, gloves are off, chaps. Here we go. All got our glad rags on, bit of pack or a ban. The thing is, the gaffer actually loved it. He encouraged it.
Just going back to what you were saying about Ian Wright and him having to go through that initiation of acceptance, but you were established at that point. Did you have to go through that similar acceptance?
Yeah, the thing is, there was, because again, not that there was cliques, but they had a drinking school, which was Charlie Nicholas, Kenny Sansom, Graham Ricks, Reece Wilmot, the old, bless him, he's not with the old reserve team goal. So they used to drink on a Sunday around Totteridge somewhere. But I hadn't had the rites of passage. I was still a young, up-and-coming player. Yeah, so they were the established players. And then when they moved on, then we became this scene. Do you know what I mean? So I never went out with them like drinking, apart from when we went away on like club trips or whatever. Yeah. But then that Tuesday Club came in with like the players that came in, I said before, like with Alan Smiths and Lee Dixons, but we used to call them the Normans, and like the Norman Normals, the Borings. Oh, go on then. They'll have, in our heads, we couldn't get why you'd come out for just 4 or 5 pints. What's the fucking point? It's like, go and do the washing, go home, your missus do the ironing, go and fuck off. And you think, no, they've got it. They're the ones who got it right.
What was it that we had Nigel Winterburn on?
All right.
And he used to always say he was buying a washing machine or something, didn't he? He used to have to make an excuse, and it was always something to do with buying a household appliance.
Yeah. So,
I'll come out for one, and then I've got to wash the car.
Dishwasher or something.
The best, actually, the best one, Dave Seaman used to, he loves his fishing, right? But when he came to us, so he used to tell his missus that he was going night fishing, go and set up his rods and his little tent and his like alarms, all that, and then come and meet us and get bang on it and have a few beers. And then he'd go, fuck, I bet Mrs. is bringing me something to eat. So then you have to go back because he's bringing his sandwiches and whatever. He'd go, I've got to fucking go at half 11, 12 o'clock. So he pretended that he would. So this H loves fishing. At first it was a load of bollocks. Do you know what I mean? It was just, she used to get out of the bus.
Just imagine him pulling his waders over his
exactly, yeah.
I've got the shorts and pants.
Yeah.
All you need is a picture in it and send it to your missus.
How do work phones then?
I know, but
It's a bit much bringing these fishing rods, just standing with them like that. Fair right, we don't, you ain't got to like make us believe. Yeah,
I can just see J.R. Hartley walking through King's Cross with his rod and his net and his box.
Exactly.
is it right, Tony? Somebody, if you want to tell the story, was partial to getting flung downstairs.
I think I was there. That was at Rara's, I think. Yeah, where he got thrown down the stairs. Yeah, it was at Rara. He got thrown down the stairs because he's just being a pest, basically. Do you know what I mean? But,
Seems pretty drastic, like.
Yeah, he did all his, like, smashed all his head and his eye. But again, when you look back, it's mad, that's insanity. But because we was all drinking, there was always someone who was going to be in a bit, we thought it was hilarious. There was always someone who was in, like, a bit of trouble. Do you know what I mean? There was, I can remember the time that, we used to call him Walter Mitty, or a bit of Billy Like, because he always like made stories up, Rod, as Tony. He was like fucking, I loved him. He's fucking, and by the way, he should get a knighthood because the lives that he Sporting Chance Clinic have saved down in Hampshire of men and women with addictions, whatever, I think you should get your honours for what you do away from sport, not necessarily. So he should be Sir Tony Adams, honestly. He's like unreal. But I can remember again, this is madness. You remember he got done for drink driving. He went into prison in 1991 season. Like, it's madness, isn't it? Like Christmas, he went in Champs Nick. But he had been at a barbecue in May at the end of the season. And I remember we were flying off to Singapore to play, I think it was against South Korea in a end of season friendly. So we were all meeting at Heathrow Airport and used to have this special area where, because it was a massive group and it was Arsenal, we didn't have to go through the normal customs, all that sort of stuff. So we're all got our passports with our blazers and ties on. And we were like, where the fucking hell's Rod? Tone's late. We're like, where the fuck is Rodders? What's that? Where was him? And we're all sitting down standing in this little bit down in Heathrow Airport. And then all of a sudden we see Rodders coming down the escalator on his own. So he's got his club, but his tyres all over the place, his barnet's like everywhere. So he goes and starts talking to George Graham, Ken Fry was our club secretary, and Gary Lewin. And he's just, you see him going, So then he comes over, wait, where the fuck are you? What's the matter with you? He went, lad, you ain't gonna believe this. He said, I've just gone through my windscreen in my car. We were like, that's fucking good for you, Rodders. So you're going to bring her out. I said, and he went like that and he shook his hair and all the glass came out of his hair. And we were like, what the fuck? And that's when he'd gone through the traffic lights, looked round and lost control and gone into the house. And that's when he ended up going in prison in the December because the court case kept getting put off for reports on his character and, and people sticking up for him. And it got to Christmas and I think his court case, it was about December the 14th, 15th. And we had our Christmas do. We were all going out on that Tuesday. And I remember going to Highbury and there was only the ticket office. There was two girls in the ticket office, Sue and Lynn. So I go up the marble stairs into the marble halls like that. And Sue and Lynn are there. They're crying their eyes out. And I'm like, what's the matter with you two? They're coming out with us. I said, you make excuses, come out. And I went, Tony's just been put in prison. And I'm like, fuck, don't be daft. Don't even put the Arsenal captain in prison. What are you fucking on about? Don't know. And he went, no, he's just been put inside. He's just had his court case today. He's been put in prison for 3 months, whatever. I'm like, really? So I walk down the hallway and in Highbury, you go past the away team dressing room, then the physio's room, then the home team dressing room. So all the lads are sat in the home team dressing room with their heads down like that. And I'm like, it's a Baldy sat there, Merce, we're ready to go out. Like, I went, is that right, what Lynn and Sue just said? He's been put in prison. They went, can't believe it. Yeah, he's just been put inside. So I'm like, fucking hell. So we're all sat like that. And after about 2 minutes, Baldy says to me, Grovesy, I said, yeah, you're right, Bold, he'd want us to go out, wouldn't he? He went, yeah, fucking straight. So honestly, we're thinking, we can't fucking not go out on our Christmas do. So it's like, so then we go and we found out, we thought we'd found out that he was in, it was either Pentonville, I think. We thought he'd been put in Pentonville prison like overnight before he was going to where he was going. So Paul Davies said, I know a bar along there. So we went to a bar there, and every hour we'd go out, and because Pentonville prison looks out onto the road with all the bars, you know, where all the cells are. We'd just shout out, "Runners! Cheers, mate, thinking of you," and then go back into the bar. So he was definitely in our hearts and our minds, you know what I mean?
It's a classic.
It's just that somebody had to say something, didn't they?
Yeah,
But everybody was
thinking
thinking everybody was thinking it. You know, and thinking, well, we fucking got to go out here. What's happening here? But that is, when you think, like, that's like Martin Odegaard going in prison on Monday for, like, 6-7 weeks. You know what I mean? That was over that Christmas period. It was like, it was crazy, absolutely crazy.
What were his dress sense like back then? Because he wears some questionable gear.
He used to get in the dark. He always got dressed in that like,
so
fancy
he was
dress.
bad back in the day
he was
as well?
awful. Yeah, he weren't the best. But now he's gone. He lived down in. I love Rodders. Honestly, he's such a top man. But he's gone like country gentrified, and he's like 3-piece suits, and they could be
Strange
green,
colours.
red. Yeah. But when you think no one else is going to be dressed like that, do you know what I mean? But he is. He was a top man when we was going out and was in the madness. But he's top man as a human being. He's like up there. He's just top.
Were you there with him when he was shagging Caprice?
Do you know what? That's when he had a Ford Capri. He's come in and go, I'm shagging Caprice. I know you got a Ford Capri, Tom. It's fucking completely different. And when he told us that, we were just like, oh, fuck off, Tom. No, you're not. You've got a Ford Capri. We've all got one. 1.6 fuel injections. Fuck off, do one. Yeah. So he told, but we just didn't believe him. We were like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, because he just told stories all the time.
What was the crack in Portugal with the Marines?
Oh, that was crazy. That was really crazy. We're at Portugal, and the gaffer always used to say to us, we went away. We was going away before Marbella was like fashionable. We was going to Marbella probably 3 or 4 times a year because he'd say to us, if we're going on a good run and you win on the Saturday, boys, if you win today, we're away. Like we go on the Sunday, go to Tuesday, Wednesday, and basically go on the piss. And then the last day you go on a run, wouldn't you, to sweat it all off, whatever. And we went to Portugal, and we was in a nightclub, and obviously we're the gooners, we're out, and we think like we're like Brad Pitt, do you know what I mean? And flipping going out, we can like get all the girls and that. And there was loads of girls there, and there was some American Marines in there. We didn't know they was in there. So obviously they had these group of 4 or 5 girls who they were trying to like get on with. And then the girls were ruthless and went, oh, Arsenal player. They went straight over to us. So we like nicked their girls basically. And we were like, right, ladies, how's it going? Right, you know, you're dancing, whatever. And then you could see there was a bit of tension, but we weren't really aware of it. And then we went outside, and this bit, he was massive. He must have been about 6'4", 6'5". He went, who do you think you are? Fucking coming in here, think you're the dog's bollocks, fucking you're going to get it, blah, blah, blah. We're fucking going to do you, whatever. And Rhys Wilmot, the reserve team goalkeeper, he was quite a bit mad, a bit tough. He's like, fuck off, you're doing like that. And we're like, goalie, fuck off. We got no chance here. This is SAS, who dares wins. I said, and they fucking win, by the way. We're like, and then we were walking up the street, up the road, and as they were in a car, and they tried to run us, they actually aimed for us. You know, like Mr. Mercedes went, they come for us, and we like dived in the side, and they nearly got Rocky, and then they turned their car around, and then they come back for us again.
Jesus.
So Charlie Nicholas had this bottle of whiskey in his coat, where he was like swinging like that. And he just went, as they come to us, he's got his bottle of whiskey and just threw it straight into the windscreen. Like the windscreen fucking smashes everywhere, and they go into the side. And we're like, being the brave ones we are, we're like, we just run. We were out of there. And we just like went for breakfast the next morning. And we're like, fucking, what about that? That's mental. Like, think it's funny. Do you know what I mean? It's a story. Like, and we're sitting at breakfast, and all of a sudden, like, a police car pulls up outside the hotel, and another van, police van, another van. So it's like all sirens going. And we're like, oh, what have they done in here? It's an hotel. Someone nicked something. Because we have no idea it's for us. And they'd gone to the old Bill because their car was all like completely smashed up. And one of them came in and he picked 5 of us out. And he went, him. So the old Bill, like, you in the police vans. And we're like, oh, fucking hell, we're going to get slaughtered here. And then apparently the gaffer was playing. He loved his golf. That's why we're in Albufeira. And apparently he was just on the 17th green, just about putt to win his match. And then it would come out like Desert Storm in the golf buggies. Like, falling, gaffer. 4 of them, 5 of them just been arrested, fucking like that. And he's like, oh, really? So then we get taken to the police station. We put in individual cells. And the thing is, we were shitting it because we're like, what's happening here? And then they were mentioning that we heard them come in and say attempted murder. And obviously they'd like ramped it up because, you know, you're throwing a bottle into a windscreen, whatever. And we just said, no, why not? You know what I mean? Straight away you go, no, why not us? And then the gaffer came, they had a chat. Then it got us out. And then I think it was quite funny actually, we had to pay, in the end, it was about, back then, which was a lot of money, it was about 1,300 quid because they obviously wanted their car like repaired. And then they'd like say no charges. We ain't got that money on us. Do you know what I mean? We ain't got that money. And remember the film Quadrophenia, where Sting's in the thing when he gets his fine in the court, then he pulls his coat out and he's got a big wad of money. Charlie Nix went, don't worry, I'll pay that. And he fucking had like all the money in his coat. He went, there you go, paid it. And then we had to pay him like when we got back.
Interest.
To England. He said we had to pay 300 quid each. Again, which is like a week's wages for like. But he still says to this day that Paul Davis still ain't paid him. He still owes him. So you can work out the interest on that. Can't you? Fucking Great Ferrari worked that one out over like flipping 35 years.
See, at any point are you thinking, I'm just going to say it with Charlie through the bottle? It was Charlie.
No, because there's this strange, like, I was taught you don't rat on your mates. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to be in trouble, you take it like all together.
Yeah.
But I can remember coming back to the hotel. And obviously I'm like, fucking hell, he's going to slaughter us. Like the gaffer's going to go mental here. And he sat us 5 down and said, what do you think you're doing? You fucking disgrace. You've let Arsenal down, let yourselves down. You don't do that when we go away, blah, blah, blah. And he was right. And everybody walked out. And as I was the last one walking out, and he went, Grovesy. And I turned around and he went, you're mixing with the wrong people. And they just walked out. Basically, he was saying to me, they're going to be fucking gone. If you want to stay here, you make sure you don't mix with them. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, gaffer, I got it.
It's actually surprised me that George Graham were into the drinking. I would have thought he were trying to get
like you said,
that
for the team
the
bonding side.
Yeah, he loved it. He knew he had spies everywhere. Even there's no mobile phones. He knew where we were on a Tuesday. He'd know what clubs we were in, what pubs we'd been in. But at any time, which on a Tuesday, we talk about the Normans, like the Alan Smiths and the Lee Dixons and the Nigel Winterburns used to go home after 4 or 5. But there could be, at any time on a Tuesday, the second generation, which was that team that I mentioned with Rocky Rocastle, Michael Thomas, you know what I mean, coming for a youth team, Hayes, whatever, there'd be 17, 18 of us in the same pub, you know, because then again, there's no mobile phones. You'd have to tell someone where you were at a certain time. So we'd have to make sure in the pub, and we'd all be having a laugh and then be like the Red Arrows, everybody go and do their different stuff. But the team spirit was unbelievable, really like proper bonding.
Yeah. You mentioned you and Merson were thick as thieves. Does that mean you two would leave each other alone when it came to the pranks?
We would. Yeah, we wouldn't sort of prank each other, but it's a weird thing with me and mate. Like again, best mate. When I was in trouble, he was always there. When he was in trouble, I was always there. Do you know what I mean? We was always like doing the same sort of stuff. But
because I've just got to hear that Merson left a shit in your pillow.
Yeah, that was a way. Yeah,
that's not a prank.
But the thing is, you look back and you just think, I actually caught him doing it. Do you know what I mean? I was like, what are you fucking doing?
What kind of method did he go for?
Twirl. He had a twirl. Like, and then he I was thinking, how did he hold the case? And it was good to firm as well, to be fair. It was all right. But again, that's when you drink, when you're drinking, you think it's going to be fucking hilarious, don't you? What I do is I go and shit on your pillow. And you know, what are you fucking doing? It's like ridiculous. Yeah.
Quick break in play, gentlemen.
That's usually my job, but carry on.
Have you heard about TalkSport Bet?
No.
I know TalkSport.
Well, they are our new partners. But as you said, we've all heard of TalkSport. Mm-hmm. Well, TalkSport Bet are sponsoring the whole of this series.
Unbelievable. It's exciting. And, like you said, you've just made me aware of it, John, but they're sponsoring the whole series, and, it's another and, as Under the Cosh listeners and viewers, they're providing an unbelievable offer. I'm talking bet £10, get £40 in free football bets.
Not just that. They do super boosts, daily price boosts, and best odds guaranteed on your horses, which is a very, very good special.
And all you've got to do is head to talksportbet.com/UTC and you get that unbelievable offer on sign up.
18 plus, terms and conditions apply.
I'm excited. I think we're going to do some magical things.
Give us a fist bump then.
Going back to the football for a second.
I mean, I think I was six. Well, I was 6 at the time, 88, 89, final day of the season. So it bypassed me as a spectacle. But
Right.
reading back through that day and what happened, could you just talk us through like what it was like for you at Anfield?
Do you know what? It was really weird because, again, I talk about sliding doors moments in your careers and even for teams. That is one of the it's an iconic game, like May 26, 1989, up at Anfield. We had to beat them by 2 clear goals to win the first title for 18 years. They'd won the FA Cup. And we were romping it round about Christmas time. I think we were about 11 points clear. And they went on a 22-game unbeaten run. And the 2 games before that, we were playing at home and it's in our hands. So 3 games a season, we should win the title. We get beat at home by Derby 2-1. So Dean Saunders always said, because he's a big Liverpool fan, he scored Derby's 2 goals. And he was like, I'm the player that won Liverpool the title in 88, 89. He thinks he's won it. We draw 2-2 against Wimbledon at home on the Tuesday. So out of those 6 points, we get 1. So if we hadn't have won that game, we'd have been accused of being bottlers. Do you know what I mean? Because it's in your hands. That like,
and you're feeling that pressure as well in the papers, the fans.
Yeah, you know what? Not really. I'll tell you why. Because no one ever went to Anfield and beat Liverpool by 2 goals.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. Our era, they would, even though there was no European football, they had the best team in Europe. They were like unreal. But I think because we had to beat them by 2, that took the pressure off a bit. Do you know what I mean? Because we'd gone up there in the middle of the season and we played them in the League Cup and we battered them. We drew 1-1. Rocky scored a worldie, top corner, but we could have beaten 3 or 4. And that gave us the belief that we could beat them. And if there's one team that Liverpool didn't want to play, it'd have been us. Do you know what I mean? Because we didn't. The old time at Anfield, it was like throw another ball. You never got the flip. You always got beat 3 or 4. So I think because it was 2-0, it took the pressure off a little bit. But George Graham, like my dad is my hero, and George Graham made my career as well. He was an unbelievable tactically best I've ever played under, and I don't think anybody's better than him. And I can remember him coming in on the Wednesday. Liverpool played West Ham on the Tuesday night and they beat West Ham 5-1. And Leroy Rashini, obviously Liam's dad, he scored the goal for West Ham and he tells everybody that he won us the title. Because if he doesn't score, we got to win by 3.
Yeah.
So the gaffer, I phoned Merce up again, this old landlines. I went, fucking hell, that's us coming second. We're going to get slaughtered. Do you know what I mean? Because you got no chance. The gaffer sat us down at London Cone. He put them on these benches. We're all sat on these benches. And he comes in like that. He went, lads, great result last night. Fucking hell, give us a massive chance. We go up to Anfield. Everybody thinks we're going to get beat. The pressure's on them. They're going for the double. I really fancy our chances. We're going to play 3 centre halves like Dave O'Leary, Steve Bold, Tony Adams, Nigel on the left, Dicko. And first of all, we're all looking at each other. And Merce is looking at Bold and he says, is it on what I'm fucking on here or what? It's like, we're playing 3 centre halves. Because going to win...
Is he on what I'm on here?
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's like... 3 centre halves. Why are you playing next to centre half when we've got to go and win by 2 clear goals? To us, we're like, that's a bit weird. That don't make sense. And he said we played because again it was always 4-4-2. We'd hardly ever played like 3 centre backs. So we're going to go there. He said pressure be on them, and he said we'll close them down. He said Nigel, you get tight on Ray Houghton. Dicko, you get tight on John Barnes. You not man for man, but you go tight with them. We'll like be really nice and tight. He said, Merce, glad you play up front. We'll try and play off you. And I remember him saying, he said, and we've got to get in 0-0 at half time. If we can nick a goal, great. He said, but worst ways out, it's got to be 0-0 because if they score, we ain't scoring 3, which is true. Like, so he did all this team talk. We went off, running off with Theo Foley, our coach, and we all started doing chicken impression, as if he'd gone like loopy. I said, your mate, has he gone fucking mad? Right. And to be fair to the gaffer, he was the only one who really, really believed that we could beat him 2-0. Do you know what I mean? He was the only, and his positivity, you look at someone like that and you think, wow, yeah, perhaps we can. Do you know what I mean? It was him who was the leader. And he told us, and then played the game. And you probably won't remember it, but as a mark of respect, we all run out with bunches of flowers before the game, obviously for the Hillsbridges at Uster. So we run out and we disperse and put the flowers into the crowd. And the Liverpool fans went from to, and it done us a favour because it like quelled it. You know what I mean? You're going into enemy territory. Yeah. And for the first 10, 15 minutes, it was respectful from the Liverpool fans who thought, that's a brilliant gesture. First half, 0-0, get in. And his team talk was the only time ever, I was there for 6 years, that I heard him praise every single player. And he said, in the team talk on the Wednesday, he said to us, what we do, we'll keep it tight, 0-0, second half, they'll get a little bit nervous because they're going for the double, going for the title. What'll happen is we'll be a bit more expansive, we'll nick a goal. He said, and they'll shit themselves. He said, then the nerves will come in. He said, and we've got Grosey and AZ. He said, then we'll go all out, I'll put them two on, and then we're going to go for it. And I'm like, really? So then Smudge scores off his nose, like Nigel. Like if you watch it, it's a free kick that we used to do all the time, bending it in with your left foot from the right. And Tony Adams is like a complete nuisance. He just smashes everybody out. Like he falls over, smashes everybody. Actually, these days that probably just VAR will probably look at it and go, no, you failed. So he smashes everybody. Comes to Smudge, he gets it off his nose, and then there's a big furore as he touched it. So a Liverpool fan and players around the ref, David Hutchinson, the referee's name was. So they surround him, as if say he ain't touched it. And then at Anfield, you're thinking he's going to disallow this. Well, you know, normally referees bottle it. And he walks over to the linesman and they have a chat like that. And the linesman sort of nods his head and he points to the centre spot, goal. So the referee showed big bollocks actually and it did. Smudge headed it. And then I could tell they had top players like Steve McMahon playing centre midfield, Anna Hansen, obviously at centre half. Peter Beardsley come on a sub. That's how good like Liverpool were. With John Barnes, Ronnie Went. You could tell that they were getting tense. Even players that good, they got a little bit nervous. And then I had the Raven ump because he put Martin Hayes on before. I'm like, what the fuck are you putting him on for? I should be going on. I've got the ump. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, I'm fucking better than him. What are you doing putting him on? So Hayes goes on. And then I go on, and if you watch the goal, the Aguero goal, right, is a great goal from Man City, but they're playing against QPR. QPR are shit. They got relegated. Michael Thomas's is well above that for the stature of the game and the time and the finish and what it meant to us as a club and historically. Yeah. And if you look at the goal, they have the ball in the left corner, in the right corner, and John Barnes has got it. Now he should be going into the corner flag to waste time. He should and he thinks he can score, so he does a swivel. Little chicken legs Kevin Richardson, he's got his like socks down, he's breathing out of his arse, his legs are gone. So he nicks it off him, and he gives it to John Lukic. You're thinking we've got 30 seconds to go. Luka, you got to fucking boot it. He throws it. And the goalkeeper never threw it, did they? They never threw the fucking ball out in our area. They didn't throw the ball out to fullbacks. And we're like, what the fuck are you doing? And Luke, he says, I was knackered. He said, even as a goalkeeper, the tension, he said, I had nothing in my legs. I knew I wasn't going to reach the halfway line. Dicko's running away on the right wing because he don't fucking want it. He's like that. What the fuck? I don't want it. So then he throws it to Dicko. But the move, and we talk about functional play. You do functional play all the time, didn't you? It goes into the fullback, goes to the winger, puts it in the channel, goes into the centre forward. We did that move thousands of times in shadow play. So Dicko gets it. His first look is, can he go forward? Can he get it in the channel? So I make a run across Smudge. I take the whole fucking back four away. They were dangerous. You know what I mean? They'll come with me. So they leave that massive gap.
Come on, fuck off, Hanson.
Hanson comes with me like that. I'm like, come on then, let's go. But then, so I make the run, and now I'm watching it as he's running through. And as he's running through, Tomo is the world's most laid-back fucking player ever. Trust me. He could sleep on a razor blade. We flew to Australia once. He slept for 24 hours. Fucking didn't even get off. In the old days, you know, when the plane stops, you get off, you get back on. He just stayed on the plane. He just fucking didn't move. And then he woke up and went, well, yeah. We go, yeah, Tomo, we're in Australia. We're outside the world. So he runs through, and if you watch him, he waits and waits. And I'm like, fucking, I've turned now. I'm a fan. I'm gone back to Gooner. I'm on the pitch. I'm a fan watching him going, fuck, are you going to fucking shoot in a minute? You got Ray Houghton coming in from behind him. You got Alan Hansen coming one side, Steve Nicol, whatever. And if you watch him, he waits. And Bruce Grobler stands and just goes to his right and he flicks it like with his outside his right foot like that. And it's like, oh my fucking good God, he's just scored. What the fuck? And then it's like everything, you lose your shit. If I was better media trained, I'd have run. He does a silly like caterpillar sort of celebration. He boots Nigel in the face, and then Nigel runs round the back of the goal. I just go straight to the Arsenal fans over in the far corner and dive in there. And it's like, oh fuck, we got to like kick off yet. So then like we kick off. And then the referee, we think, come on, blow the referee. And then the ball drops out of the air on the edge of the box. And Tomo just brings it down and flicks it back to normal. You just fucking boot it. And then Lukey clears it, Smudge gets it. I try and Steve Nicol gets it in the right back position. So I slide in and I try and do him. Because even in my head, I'm thinking, in the old days, you used to get a letter from the FA if you got booked, didn't you? Or 3 points or 4 points. I think, fucking hell, if I do Steve Nicol, I'm going to get a letter from the FA from this game. It's going to be worth fucking fortunes later on.
I don't mind paying the £15 fine.
Exactly, yeah, and I'll sell it later on. So and I try and do him and I miss him. And the referee blows the whistle. And then it's like, fucking hell, and everybody just like runs everywhere. But the reason that's I'm biased because I'm a gooner. But the reason it's the greatest finish is Tomo missed a sitter about 10 minutes before on the edge of the box and he should have scored and he missed. So for him to put himself in that position, you guys know what it's like, that takes a lot of bollocks because if he'd have missed it, he'd have been remembered as the Arsenal player that missed the chance to win the title. You know what I mean? Like Gordon Smith for Brighton's always remembered against Man United and he's the centre forward that misses the chance that Brighton could win like the FA Cup. And Mercer's got a brilliant theory where Mercer always says it fell to the best player because Tomo wasn't the best finisher in the club by a long way. He wasn't the best finisher, but if he'd have missed it, he wouldn't have given a fuck. Because me and Merce, we'd have been fucking in AA straight from there. Do you know what I mean? Because he was so laid back, he'd have just gone, oh, I missed it, right, don't matter. But other, normal people, normal brains would have, that have kept me awake for fucking 4 years. Do you know what I mean? So it fell to the right player at the right time. And then the people say about the celebrations, like these days there's champagne everywhere. And I remember we got the trophy on the pitch. The Liverpool fans stayed at the Cop and they clapped us, which was unreal. Like, I don't think they'd have clapped if they'd known to win the title once in the next 30 years. Do you know what I mean? But so they showed us respect. So we go in the dressing room and again, there's no mobile phone. So in the old days, there was just like a camcorder. So the club photographer was their camcorder. And there's some footage. You see us and the Liverpool players, to be fair to them, showed they actually come in the dressing room and went, congratulations, lads. Well, if it was me, I wouldn't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? No, fuck off. But they had a load of champagne. They gave us their champagne. So we've got it in plastic cups. And I've got I'm sitting down with one of the Barclays trophies. I think Baldy's got one, and we're all walking round and there's no like, rah, rah, rah. And I think we're just in a daze thinking, has that just happened? Have we really just, you know what I mean? Where you can't really compute what's gone on, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, whoa, and we're all walking around. And then I remember we was on the coach. It took us a good 4.5, 5 hours because all the Arsenal fans, as we're going down the M6, all the Arsenal fans, cars all around on the team boat, like we've got beer on the coach, whatever. So we get on the old days, there was the CB radios, isn't there, at the front of the coach. So as we're driving off, I'm thinking, what are we going to do when we get... So we got wind that there was a club called Winners in Southgate was going to stay open for us when we got back. So as we get to Southgate, and we think there'll be about, 5, 6 people there, there's probably about 1,000 people who had heard that we were coming. So we got off the team, we're like the Beatles. Whoa, got the team coach, we're fucking right. How you going? Like, just seeing who's there. All right, yeah, coming in, yeah, happy days, yeah, see you in a minute. Yeah, so it was actually, the place was called Winners randomly. Yeah, so we was in there till probably 5, 6 in the morning. Again, the wives don't know where we are because there's no mobile phones. And they're thinking they ain't coming home. Do you know what I mean? They're just out. So, yeah, we was out then.
I bet it, because he only flicked it, didn't he? I can remember the goal. He only flicked
it over
from the edge of the box to it going in. It must have felt like days.
Yeah, well, and it felt, and Ray Houghton actually says that he was going to bring him down, but he thought he'd remembered that he'd missed the chance before, And he thought, I will bottle this. So he could have brought him down for a penalty or outside the box, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He thought, no, he won't. I say it fell to I just checked back the gaffers, George Graham. I used to call Paul Merson Rain Man because he remembered everything, who we were playing, when we were playing, who they'd played, what the score was. And it was more like he's having a bet, basically, when that's what it's only, he knew what was happening. But George Graham had that brain as well, like a Rain Man sort of computer game. We'd played QPR earlier on in the season, around about October, November time. And I'd come on a sub last 20, 25 minutes. We're 3-0 up. Dave Seamen was actually in goal for QPR. Front of North Bank, I run through, we're 3-0 up. I should square it. Alan Smith taps it in. But I think, oh, fuck it. You know, 3-0 up, I'll shoot. Fuck that, I'll get myself a goal. Shoot. Dave Seamen saves me. It goes for a corner. After the game, we win 3-0. So the gaffer says, well played, lads. Could have been better in possession, blah, blah. And we already had a debrief on the Monday morning, you know, because it's too raw on the after the game. So we were going in the Monday morning, all up in the physio's Gary Lewin's room where we do the debrief. George Graham comes in, so he's got the training schedule, which we knew we were doing anyway. And he always said, rolled his paper up. So he's like, bang, he said, right, lads, sit there. He said, really good performance Saturday. Said, going forward, great in the final third, like good quality balls in, kept the clean sheet. If we're going to win the title, we need to win a clean sheet. And he said, we're going to do this training, we do these set pieces. And before he went on, by the way, and he pointed at me and he said, he said, if this fucking goals to go difference at the end of the season, you'll never play for this club again. Fucking ever, right? So this is November. So we're laughing, going, oh, Grovesy, they're going, oh, Grovesy, fucking hell, right, Grovesy, like that. And so we win it. We win it on goals scored, actually. Pickford's goal different, but it's goals scored. I think we scored 8 more goals than Liverpool, right? So getting off the team coach at the winners Southgate, we always wore club blazers, away games, always club blazers, ties, whatever. So we get off, so everyone's going, see you later, Gaffer, yeah, enjoy it, lads. We got an open top bus parade on the Sunday, I think it was. So, see you up Sunday, boys, well done, fucking brilliant. Get off. Mercy's before me, so he's second from us, I'm last. Merce gets off, goes down the coach, those steps like that. So, well done, Merce, top man, yep, see you, right. As I get off, the Gaffer always sits at the front, the manager always sits front like that. So he sat like that, immaculate. And he went, Grovesy. And I turned around and he went, lucky, wouldn't you? I was like, fuck, he'd remembered it. He'd fucking remembered fucking from November. So fuck Michael Thomas scoring the greatest ever. He saved my fucking Arsenal career. Seriously, I was like, whoa. I was like Medusa. I was just like that. What the fuck? Yeah, so he remembered it from early on in the season.
Unbelievable.
Isn't it? And it's like his blueprint for the game went to the T as well, didn't it?
Yeah, to say tactically, that if you could, Arsene Wenger was unbelievable manager on letting players express themselves, knowing good players, and playing a different sort of football. If you could put them two together, you would have the perfect, do you know what I mean? The perfect manager, because tactically George Graham was like up there. And again, all these days, these algorithms, logarithms and all that sort of stuff they do. Football did have tactics back even when we played, even though it was probably a bit more basic, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the top players, you have to take that information in. And if you don't, you're done. Do you know what I mean? And you have to be able to handle the pressure because you're judged on a different level. Like, remember Alan Smith came and he didn't score for his first 3 games. And in the paper it says, Smith's a waste of money, not good enough for Arsenal, got to get another centre forward, Kerry Dixon they're going to sign. And Smudge is like, fucking hold on a minute. I just scored for 3 games. But if he doesn't score for 3 games for Leicester fans care, but no one else does.
Yeah.
Whereas and then the 4th game, Charlie was playing up front with Smudge. And Charlie Nicholas was unbelievably technically gifted, like ball into him, he could turn, vision, but he wasn't a closer. He didn't want to do the closing down. So the gaffer left him out and he played me and Smudge up front against Portsmouth at home on the Saturday. And Smudge, we won 6-0 and Smudge got a hat-trick. So I saved his fucking career. Every time he becomes an all-time Arsenal great, like Smudge should be up there with Henry and Bergkamp. He scored the 2 times he won the title. He won 2 golden boots both seasons, 88, 89, 1991. I think he scored 23 goals in 88, 89. I think it was 21 or 22, 1991, and 1 penalty. That's amazing, isn't it? Like to win 2 golden boots. So because his name's Alan Smith, and it's a bit boring name, isn't it? Alan Smith. If it's Aliano Smithiano, it'd have been. And by the way, if you Google Alan Smith, he's the 2nd Alan Smith.
My new one.
Yeah, it's first. I'm like, you're not even the fucking first Alan Smith. But Smudge should be up there with, like, obviously Henri and Bergkamp, the great and righty. Smudge should be in that exalted like position as well, without a shadow of a doubt.
We mentioned Winterburn, and it was mad when we recorded with him because he's like that.
Yeah.
He's not the tallest, but I remember watching him just being hard as fuck,
Yeah,
basically, in a tackle and that.
Nigel was one of the most, I don't like saying underrated because he was rated by like us and like, but probably an Arsenal fans well, but from the other fans, Nigel's always never went below a 7 out of 10 ever.
What about the ones you played against? Because there were some hard bastards.
The hardest player, without a shadow of a doubt, was Stuart Pearce. Without any shadow of but Stuart wasn't, I'm going to break your legs hard, or verbally, like, I'm going to do this, do that here. He was like the silent assassin where he didn't say anything, but you knew full well when the ball was coming through,
You'd feel
it'd come through you, it'd come through you, the ball, take you everywhere. And there was a game, quickly, where a game at Highbury, and at that time, Merce was playing, me and Merce were playing on the wings, so I was either left wing, Merce was right wing, or like vice versa. And we're playing at home against Nottingham Forest on a Tuesday night, and we hadn't scored for about 5 or 6 games, so it was like quite a bit of pressure. So we meet at South Arts Golf Club, and when you're going to the meeting, and me and Merce sort of know we're going to play, but we don't know what wings we're going to play on, and you're going to that and you're thinking, please don't be fucking right wing. For fuck's sake, please don't be right wing. I just don't want to be right wing. So then you go for your meeting, you have your pre-match, you have your toast and all that sort of stuff. And then the old days, there was like a flip chart, wasn't it? The flip chart. And you're looking at it, and you're all sitting there like that, and Mercy's there, I'm here. And you're looking at the flip chart and thinking, oh, don't be right, fucking please don't be right wing. Please don't be right wing. Gaffer flips the charts up. Paul Merson right wing, Perry left wing. I'm like, thank fuck for that. Merce looks over me, he's like that. He's shaking his head. I'm like, oh, unlucky. So the gaffer says, Merce, he said, you'll go up against Stuart Pearce on the left wing. He said, just sit a bit deeper. If you remember, Pearce used to play 1-2s with Nigel Clough about 50, 60 yards, and he like roll it into him and then fucking just run. You think, oh, I've got to run with him. So he said, you sit off him. He goes, Groves, you go against Brian Laws on the left-hand side, take him 1v1, you're quicker than him, you'll get past him. He said, and after 20 minutes, he said, what we do, you can have a swap over. You can swap over, and then you keep seeing how it goes like that. So in my head, I'm thinking, I ain't fucking swapping over. You've got no chance, right? So they go running out, and in the old days, not every player, this is weird, but not every player went out and warmed up before the game. Some players didn't they, with the ball, some didn't, sat there, whatever. So Pearce used to come run up. He had his shorts fucking pulled up to there, didn't he? Right up there. His massive thighs, tattoos on his arms. No one had tattoos, did they? Like, shorts about that big. And he used to run over to the Nottingham Forest fan. They go, psycho, psycho. And he's like, Ray! And you're like, oh, fucking hell. So Mercy's on the right wing. So he's getting booted everywhere. I'm against Brian Laws like that. And used to have that massive clock at Highbury at the clock end. So Mercy's watching it like countdown. Gets to 20 minutes. And he's like, Grovesy, swap over. I'm like, fuck off. I ain't coming over there. He went, you fucking out of order, Groves. You get yourself over there. I went, fuck off. I ain't coming over there. So we're rowing. And then after about 35 minutes, we get a corner, ball comes in, randomly, I'm on the 6-yard box, I'm marked, hits me on the head, goes in, we go 1-0 up. So it's our first goal we scored. Again, it's like a big goal because it's the first goal we scored for like about 9 hours, whatever, right? So then the corner comes, and so Mercy's taking the corner. We always had a right footer from left side, left foot, like it's like Arsenal do now, like whipping it in. So Mercy's thinking, I'm over on left, I'm on the edge of the 18-yard box. And he's thinking, I can get on the fucking left wing here. Groves is inside. I can get out on the left. I'll take the corner. I'll just fucking run like that. So as he runs up the left touchline, I just run with him. I'm like that. There's me and him both on the fucking left touchline, right? He's going, Groves, get over there. I said, you fucking get over there. I ain't going over there. You should be over there. He went, it's out of order, Groves. I've been over. He's booting me over. So George Graham's going, with one of you fucking twats, get over that fucking side there. So we're having this row. So the whistle goes 1-0 up at half time. We go in, and at Highbury, you had the old concrete steps going up the players' tunnel, and you turn to the left. So you got the away team dressing room, you got the physio's room, and then you got the home team dressing room. So I'm walking up the steps, go in like that. So I go, Gary Lewin, who's our physio, I go, Gaz, calf muscles a bit stiff here, man, like that. So I'm like that on the physio's bed. So Merce comes walking past the physio room like that. And he comes walking past, and he comes back in, and he went, what's the fucking matter with you? I said, I've scored, I'm not going back out, I've done my fucking job. So I was just sitting like that. He went, you're such a fucking twat. So he had to go out and get booted everywhere by Piercy. Yeah.
Did you come off?
Yeah, I come off at half time. I'm like, fuck that. I ain't going back out there.
My bit.
Yeah. But Piercy used to this thing as well, is when he fouled you, he'd come over to you and rub you on the top of the head. Like, so he looks to the referee like he's saying sorry, and he go, sorry about that, fella, but I'm going to do it again in a minute. And you fuck off. All right, Piercy, cheers for that. So he was, tough.
Do you have any run-ins with Julian Dicks?
Julian Dicks was different. He's got a story that he tells, which is a load of bollocks, and I've got a story of the same situation. So we're playing at Upton Park, and I'm playing on the left wing, and obviously Julian Dicks is like left back, and he was tough. He used to boot people. But he was a good player as well, by the way. He could play, like, get forward, score goals, whatever. So when come running out at Upton Park, and as you come running out, he was stood with a ball like that, and you go run out to him up, you go, oi, ginger bollocks, like he's took me. So you come anywhere fucking near me, I'm going to break your left leg. You come near me again, I'll break your fucking right leg. Come near again, I'll snap you in half like that. I went, fuck off, you little fat twat. I said, look, there's the studs. So that's all you'll be seeing, because I'll be fucking running away. You won't be able to get... So anyway, you know it's coming, right? You know the first 30 seconds. So what he does, so I get the ball, comes to me, and I know it's coming, so I just flick it and ride the chat. He comes like steaming in, fucking fouls me. I'm on the floor. But in those days, you didn't stay on the floor or roll around, because you didn't want to let them know that they've hurt you. Even if your fucking ankle's hanging off, do you know what I mean? You'd be like, fucking hell, and then you might go like that later. So he like booted me. So that happened through the whole game. We watched the game on the Monday, the old video, so it was video to go through it, and he fouled me 18 times and didn't get booked until the 61st minute, right? So he's going through me. So Brian Hill was a member of the referee. He was the referee in the FA Cup final, Wimbledon against Liverpool. Really good referee. So as Julian Dicks is like booting me, I go, Brian, you fucking any danger? You're going to fucking get him booked. Get him off the pitch. Fucking fat fug. Fucking don't do one. Play all right. So he's like, oh, just play on, Groves. He play on like that. So he hasn't done anything for an hour. Hasn't booked him for an hour or whatever. So in the end, you think, I'm going to have to do him myself. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're a player, you know how to do somebody. So he gets the ball. He goes to play up the line, and it's the old where you leave your foot there. So he boots the bottom of your foot, and then my left foot takes him at the ankle. So I just like completely kamikaze, like 2-footed. So he's on the floor, you know, you have right, like square up to each other. So he comes running over, and it's not the yellow cards back. It's just like, nope, it's like, you, Julian, you're booking. It's like, you, Groves. I went, so what are you fucking booking me for? So it's my first tackle. He went, no, saw what he did, booking him. Da, da, da. I said, get him off the pitch, the fat fuck. He's fucking useless. He's going to ruin my career. Fucking break him. Fucking get him off like that. So he goes running away, and Julian Dicks has got like the fucking psycho eyes, and he's just like looking at you like that Norman Bates eyes. So I could get him off the fucking pitch. Right? And Brian Hill, the referee, right, he calls me over like that. He went, one, Perry, can you calm your language down, please? He said, and two, he said, I can't send Julian Dicks off here. I said, what do you mean can't send him off? He went, we're at Upton Park. He said, if I send him off, there's going to be a riot. Honestly, I'm like, what? He went, no, I can't send him off. So I went, what you fucking do then? He keeps booting me, right? And this is the referee, honest gospel truth. He took about 10 seconds and he went, I know. I said, what do you know? He went, why don't you and Mike and A swap wings for 10 minutes? Seriously, like that. I went, what? He went, swap it, you go over. And he went, that's a great idea. It's a referee. He went, that's a great idea. I said, if you go over there, it'll calm it down for 5 minutes. Mike and A's come over there, everybody will settle down. I went, are you taking the piss, Brian? And he went, no, it's a good idea though, isn't it? Like that. So I went, hold on, leave it with me. So I walked over to the dugouts. So George Graham is like, what, we're 2-0 up at the time. George Graham, what the fuck do you want, Groves? I said, Gaffer. I said, just a bit of a request. I said, you won't mind awfully. It's just for 5 minutes that I went onto the left wing, Martinez come onto the right wing because it'll calm all the crowd down, like that. And he went, are you taking the piss, Groves? Like, so he looks past me. So Brian Hill, the referee's in the middle, he went, yeah, can I chop like that? So the gaffer goes, what the fuck? So he goes, I'll just come off. So I got the hook. I got substituted. So I've been substituted for being shit before, substituted for being injured. I got substituted because the referee wanted to calm the crowd down, right? So I'm sitting on the fucking, in the dugout. You know, when you sit like that, I'm thinking, has this happened? What the fuck? We won, like, winning 2-0. We're going to win the game. So the West Ham fans decide that they're going to get the game called off. So they invade the pitch. So they come on from the chicken run, right? They invade the pitch. So there's about, 3,000-4,000 West Ham fans on the pitch trying to get the game, like, counts called off. So, just sitting there thinking, oh, fucking hell, it's going bad for worse. So I'm just watching it. So then the police came on. There was like on the horseback. So they come on to try and shepherd them back. So then there's the dog handlers come on. They got these Alsatians, fucking like wolves, like snarling, to send all the fans back. So they're pushing all the fans back. So they get all the West Ham fans back behind the goal. And all of a sudden, this Alsatian breaks the leash of this copper and goes fucking steaming into the West Ham fans and just dives in. Honestly, like a rake. He's like, and you think, fucking hell, there's going to be carnage. So the West Ham fans part, and after about 30 seconds, you hear, and they throw the dog back onto the pitch. And one of the West Ham fans had bit the dog's ear off. Fucking bit his dog's ear. And the dog's come like that. And all the old Bill go, fucking hell, and they fucking go the other way. It's fucking genius, yeah. So he bit the top of the dog's ear off. And that's because Brian Hill couldn't be bothered to send fucking Julian Dicks off. You know what I mean?
It was his fingers, wasn't it?
Yeah, is that what it was? So, yeah, it's a great idea.
A little switch.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
John's going, I'm not getting told how to fucking play by a referee.
Yeah, wingers don't switch. You're having a laugh. Yeah, so... Yeah, that and Julian's got his version of that story, but that's exactly because he says that I asked to come off, and it's like, fuck off, you don't do that. Do you know what I mean?
A quick break, gents, from one of our favourites, the creme de la creme of VPN services.
NordVPN.
The best in the business. If you don't know what a VPN service is, it allows you to bounce your location anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world.
And where have we been lately?
Swindon.
We didn't need it in Swindon, but we did need it in Dubai.
I did need it in Swindon because I went on the hotel Wi-Fi.
Scandinavia.
Yes, because that's another thing about NordVPN. Security, absolutely unbelievable. And when you go in on those...
You know, the
what's
hotel
the word?
Wi-Fi's.
Just go with that.
Everybody can get involved.
Yeah.
Public Wi-Fi's.
That's your boy.
Security. No, none of them hackers get into your bank details, your passwords. No.
I'll tell you what I'm watching at the minute. Obviously, I'm going to, on my honeymoon soon. I've started watching Dominican Republic, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's going to be times where she's getting ready and that. I'm going to be watching the telly.
You've seen all the millionaires over here.
Yeah.
So now you've gone on Dommy.
I'm on Dominican Republic ones at the minute.
Well, that's the thing. You can bounce your location anywhere in the world. So even if you're in the UK and you want to watch Dominican Republic Millionaire, you can get it on over here. Just bounce your location over to
I can watch anything I want, Chris, from around the world because I've got NordVPN.
Sports, series.
Millionaire.
Cut the tosh, lads. What is the script? Do we have an offer?
Of course we've got an offer because, as under the Cosh listeners, you've just got to follow the link in the description and you get a heavy discount and, get this, a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, get your money back.
That's why they're the GOATs for me.
What were it like leaving Arsenal? To go to Southampton?
Yeah, I left too early. I dropped down because what happened was, even if I wasn't in the side, I was always on the bet. Always. In the old days, it was only 1 or 2 subs, so I was always around the first. And I say to people, I think I played 203 games, 120 were starts, 83 like coming off the bench. And people go, "Oh, you just a sub, you super sub." I said, "Do you mind? They're impactors now. We'll finish it. I definitely want to fucking finish it. I know that much." But what I say to people is, at that time, I had to be at the top of my game every week just to get in the 12 or in the 13, let alone obviously getting in the starting 11, because we were the best team in the country or one of the best teams. And I'm trying to get international, I'm trying to get top international. Like David Rocastle on the right-hand side, say Brian Mywood came, Anders Limpar came from Cremonese, who was like unbelievable in that 1991. So I have to play at the top. I wasn't one of those players that I could have a bad half or a bad game or take it easy in training. I had to be at the top every single time. But what happened then, I started dropping down the pecking order where I wasn't even getting in the match day squad. But I wanted to play. Because you're coming into your peak times at 27. Do you know what I mean? Where you've got the knowledge and the experience and your body can still do stuff. So I just went to the gaffer and said, "I'm not getting in. I want to go." And I'd asked to leave only as a matter of spite. Even the time I was asked to leave, but I was just because he'd left me out. Do you know what I mean? I used to go home and go, "You're fucking out of order, gaffer, leaving me out." He went, "Yeah, you're right, but I'm the fucking manager. Fuck off, go and get out of here." So I went and saw him and said, "I want to go." And then they said that Southampton had come in They accepted a bid of 750 grand. So he pulled me in on a Friday before I was actually training. And he said, Grovesy, when they say they've accepted an offer, that means they don't want you anymore. And he did say to me, if it doesn't work out, come back. You know, you're always like welcome here. We'll put you in the squad, whatever. So when you go, you know, it's like, fuck off. They don't want you anymore. And I went to Southampton and I didn't, again, I sat with Ian Bramford, who was their manager, and asked him how they played. He said, oh, yeah, we play like 4-4-2, but we want wingers getting forward. And I didn't realise he was a long ball merchant. He just like smacks it in the corners, which is fair enough. It's the way you play.
Didn't play to your strength.
No, and I got injured. Like I always say to people, I snapped my Achilles tendon on my 15th game up at Ayrton Park, Middlesbrough's like ground. And I thought I nicked the ball with my head and headed it and went to turn. And I thought one of their players had booted me in the calf. So, you know, you just go like that. Jimmy Phillips, I think, was a left back. And I'm like that. I thought he just booted me in the calf. So I go off and Don Taylor was the physio. And he said, what's the matter, Groves? I went, fucking knobhead, just boot me in the calf. Like, and Terry Erlock said to me, it was the free. Groves used to say, you can do the free. He said, it was the free, the number 3. I went, all right, tell. So I'm off trying to get me walking up down the touchline. And my foot's a bit loose. So I'm trying to run up and down. And then they just go, Don Taylor, physio, goes, you're right, go back on. I went, I'm struggling here. My calf, I can't feel. That was on the Tuesday. So I'm on team coach coming back and they had a bed at the back, you know, if he was injured. So I had a bed. So I'm on the bed at the back with my foot up. And Lou Chatterley, who's the first team coach, comes up the aisle of the coach and I'm sitting there and he went, Grosey. He said, what's happened? I said, he's booted me in the flipping calf. And again, in the old days, it was a video. So they put the video of the game and they were looking at it and he went, well, we've just had a look at it. There's nowhere near. He hasn't booted you. But what he was saying was he didn't believe that they thought I was frying a moody and they thought, because it's at Ayrton Park, fucking pissing down the rain, they didn't know my character. So they're thinking that I've thrown it in, that I didn't fancy it. So that was on the Tuesday. On the I have treatment, like the old, you know, you have the like, ultrasound treatment, didn't you? All the old hot and cold and all that sort of stuff. So that's on the Thursday. So Don Taylor, the physio, says to me, Grovesy, you're going to be right for Saturday. I said, I can't. And what happens is they call it plant infection. I couldn't even walk up the stairs. So what you have to do is I have to put my right foot that way because I had no power. I couldn't do anything. And I couldn't go on I put me on the bike and I was like doing it one on the bike. I'm doing one leg because I can't get me leg in. So I had to go and see Ian Bramford, our manager, on the Friday. And he said, well, Don says it's, you know, you got a bit of a stiff calf. You should be all right tomorrow. I went, Gaffer, I can't fucking walk, let alone run. So that was on the Tuesday where I got my injury. Saturday, I don't play. See the doctor, club doctor, Dr. Lawrence on the Monday. So you go back to the Dell. The doctor comes in and he goes, what's the matter with you? I went, I've got booted in my calf. I said, calf's a bit sore. I said, I can't really walk. So he laid me flat, facing down on the physio bed with my 2 feet dangling at the end. So he pinched me left Achilles and he went, yeah, that was right. And he pinched me right Achilles and his fingers went straight through like my Achilles. He said, you've got a fucking big hole in your Achilles. He said, you've got a 90% rupture there. So that was so they didn't diagnose me. That was on the Tuesday in the game. They didn't diagnose me that I'd snapped my Achilles until the Monday.
Jeez. Did Jimmy Phillips get one as well?
Hey?
Did Jimmy Phillips
Do you know what?
get
I never
one?
got a chance to book because I never played. Like, I didn't play. That was it. I was done.
Oh, I thought one of the other lads might have.
Terry might have.
Yeah, Terry Erlock. They got sent off. So I was in the bath at the green. I hear clump, you know, the old aluminium studs. And I go, what's the matter? Terry went, oh, it's a fucking diabolical. He used to call me Bloodnut. He said, Bloodnut, diabolical fucking liberty. He said, I fucking got there as soon as I could. I went, all right. So me and him were just sat in the bath. And then I went and had the op. And in the old days, they'd put you in a boot. In plaster cast, and what they do, they put you in a plaster cast for 2 weeks. Then you come out, and then they put your foot another angle, put you in a plaster cast. So I came out of the plaster cast after, I think it was about 6 weeks. Went home with my missus at the time. So my missus gets out the car with 2 boys, Lewis and Drew. They run in the house. So I've got my shirts that hang up back of the car. So I picked the shirts out the back of the car. So instead of putting my crutches on, I hop on my left leg. So I hop going into the house. As I hop, my left foot catches the step and I put on, and all my weight goes on my right foot. Bang! Just there's this big like shotgun noise. And I'm like, fuck, and I'm lying prone in the hallway. And in my head I'm thinking, I'm trying to be positive, thinking the adhesions have, you know, broken or something. And my foot was just like that. So my missus is like, "Shall I call an ambulance?" I was like, I was crying with pain. Do you know what I mean? You know, when it's pain, real pain.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said, "No, I'll be all right." And again, the madness of the drinking head. So my foot's like that. So she said, "I'll call an ambulance. You've got to get to hospital." I went, "No, I'll be all right. I'll be fine." I said, "I think it's just taking all the adhesions around it. It'll be all right." So on the crutches, I went out on the piss on the Friday with my mates in Colchester. So I wasn't going back to Southampton until the Monday. Go back on the Monday, go and see Don Taylor Physio. He goes, "You've snapped it completely." So I snapped it. So what happened was the Achilles had snapped and it shoots up. And yeah, so that was it. Then I was in plaster again for another 10 weeks. But what had happened was I'd lost a half a yard to yard of pace, and I was running with a pebble in my shoe basically because I was like couldn't sprint properly. So when you're a footballer at any level, you have to have something different, and my pace was different. I was a better player because I had to slow down a bit, but they weren't interested. They were like, and Alan Ball became manager. I remember trying to get back fit in the reserves. Dave Merrington was the reserve team, and he was brilliant with me actually. Got back in reserves. And then they played me for the first team pre-season against Leyton Orient, and they played me at fucking left back. And I'm like, what? And they did it to make me look out of my depth that I wasn't, because they wanted the money. Do you know what I mean? They wanted the insurance money for me packing it in.
Right, yeah.
So football's, you know what it's like. Football is brutal. It is ruthless. And I can remember sitting in and I was trying to get back fit, but no other club would take me because I couldn't get insured, and other clubs would only take me for a month at a time on a contract. Do you know what I mean? Because they didn't want to take the chance.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 young kids, like Lewis was 5, Drew was 3. So in the end, you think I've got a mortgage to pay, I've got, young family. So I remember being called into the office with Laurie McMenemy and Alan Ball. And Alan Ball was a hero for World Cup. My dad's favourite player ever, but he was Southampton manager. But they just went on business mode. They weren't, back then, no one gave a fuck about the human being. You were just a commodity. You were just like, so they'd had me, they didn't know that I knew. So they had me insured. They bought me 750. They'd had me insured for 500 grand. So if I pack in playing for injury, they get 500 grand. So I'm just sitting there thinking, right, if I pack in, that's my career finished. I'm 29, 30 at the time. So I can't play professional football anymore. And the right thing to do, which I think is, they get 250, I get 250. That's what I think is the fair thing. I go and sit down. Laurent Menny comes in and he goes, "Grovesy, you're not the same. You're pebbling shit." I said, "Well, I've been out for fucking like 18 months, only 2 years. I'm not going to be the same." And I knew that they wanted me to pack it in. And he said, "Yeah, we're thinking about it." Said, "What we do is, as a gesture of goodwill, we'll give you 75 grand. And I just looked at them both and went, "You fucking both bunch of fucking CUN." I said, "You kidding me? 75 grand? That's what you're going to give me? That's my career finish." I went, "Go fuck yourself. Stick it up your ass." And I walked out. I remember going back to my missus and she go, "What happened?" I said, "I told them to fuck off, stick it." 75. She's like, "You can't do that." I said, 75 grand, they're going to get 500. I said, because then I started playing a game of dare with them. So then it waited.
Don't take the first
and
offer.
in the end, hey, don't take the first offer. Exactly, yeah. See me,
Unless
old man.
you're signing for Arsenal.
Yeah. All right, take it. Exactly, yeah. But in the end, I got them up. I think it was 125, which again was quite a lot of money then. But it allowed me to like get a house, which was like paid for. But the only thing that I lost respect for them because I know football's brutal and I know you're a commodity and, that's all about business. But then they didn't think of the human side of it. Like
Retiring at 29, 30.
Yeah, the worst ways out, if they had 300 grand and I had 200, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're still getting money. But the only thing that I always say sorry to Southampton fans. I'm like, because I was fucking useless for that, a waste of money. But Kerry Dixon and Dave Speedy were worse than me, so they would make me feel a lot better. Speedo wanted to beat everybody up. He's fucking angry little man. Exactly, yeah. But nicest man away from pit. Hello, how are you? On the pitch, fucking Tasmanian devil. And Kerry Dixon used to bring a doctor's note in every Monday and say he's got a bad back and then fuck off back to Luton. I'm off. Yeah, so them two are worse than me.
I know we'll push for time. Did you say you had a Graham Roberts?
Yeah. So playing Chelsea, Graham Roberts, another hard man. So playing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And I'd been in the team for a while, and I come back and I was playing again. For some reason, the gaffer was playing me up front. And after about 10 minutes, throw-in comes in. So I chest it, head the ball like off. And Robbo comes in probably about 2 minutes later and just goes smash and smashing me straight across the nose, blood like claret, nose everywhere. He's done me. And so then your eyes are a little bit fuzzy for a while, aren't they? You're like, fucking hell. And I knew it was him. So I'm thinking, right, I've got to do you. Because I don't mind, when you play, if someone, you get hurt, but someone's generally going for the ball, then you're right of it. But when someone's done you. Do you know what I mean? You know when they've done it and you just think, you're getting this. You can actually Google it. Just Google Perry Groves tackle on Graham Roberts. It is horrendous. It's like a fucking assault. Honestly, Eric Cantor's got fuck all on me, trust me. So Robbo's got the ball in the centre circle. And as he's got the ball, being the big brave winger that I was, so I come from behind him and I launch myself, left foot at his knee, right foot at his ankle, and completely capitulate him. He goes onto the floor and he's like, he doesn't move. When fucking no one moves, you just think, shit, he's in a bad way here. And it's a proper bad 2-footed tackle, lunge, whatever. So Ray Lewis was the referee. And he was randomly, he was from a place called Great Bookham. Couldn't make it up, could you? Do you know what I mean? So I knew him because he was running a sportswear company. So I sort of knew him. He used to come to Colchester when I was playing there. So he comes running over and I'm not really worried about him. I'm more looking at Robbo thinking, if he gets up, I'm in for a fucking long 70 minutes. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, fuck me, please get up. So I'm looking at Robbo, he's just prone on the ground. So the referee comes over, and even then I'm thinking I could go off here. Even it was that bad a tackle. And he comes over and went, Grovesy, it's bang out of order there. You're late. You're coming for right. I'm going to book you. And I went, right. He said, well, because I saw him. He elbowed you, didn't he, in the corner? He'd come across and I went, what do you mean fucking you saw him? So why didn't you fucking book it? He went, don't take the piss. He said, I could be sending you off. So I went, all right. So I calmed down. So I'm looking at Robbo. Robbo, with the physio, there's only one physio, so Robbo's limping off. And he's going, you ginger, C-U-N-T, I'm going to fucking do you. You fucking think you're doing, you fucking think you're hard, you wait. So the game's going on. So Robbo is running up down the touchline. And he's like limping, like, are you ginger? I'm fucking going to come on, fucking do you. And I'm thinking, oh, please don't come on, just looking at the ball. And in the end, it was that bad, he didn't come on. So I'm just looking at him thinking, fuck that. We're all 0-0. Game finishes, shit, like Stamford Bridge used to be a shitter, like the pitch was shit when it was miles away from like the stands. You used to go and get the ball if it went behind the goal. So we're in the dressing room afterwards. So the gaffer's doing his debrief, saying, good battling performance, lad, but blah, blah, blah. Said, Groves, you did well, crowd were on it, yeah. And all of a sudden there's a knock on the door. So the gaffer blanks it, he's just going through, and then all of a sudden door opens and you don't come anywhere near that. And that is sacrosanct. The changing room, nobody comes in the changing room. So the door opens and this geezer comes in. He goes, hello, this is, I'm Commissioner William Hurst of the Metropolitan Police. And so George Graham goes, what the fuck are you doing in my dressing room? Like to the Commissioner, Chief Commissioner of Metropolitan Police. So get out the fuck. He went, no, it's very serious, sir. He said, Mr. Groves, you'll stay there afterwards. Because we had death threats against you. So 2 of my officers will be outside the dressing room waiting for you. You will not be going on your own. So Gaffer does it. You know what, lads? Like, fucking Groves, you're going to get fucking killed. There's snipers fucking like. So they fuck off to the bar because, you know what I mean? They leave me on my own. So I'm thinking, this is fucking ridiculous. It can't be that bad. I'm saying to old Bill, I went, lads, this is what he went, no, honestly, Mr. Groves, this is serious stuff. I'm like, don't be fucking daft. No one gets killed at fucking football games. Do you know what I mean? It's not sniper. Do you know what I mean? Nothing like that. So then we walk out and the team coach is there and there's about 3,000 Chelsea fans around the team coach. Like, you guy ginger, fucking going to do you. You fucking do that to Graham Roberts. So I'm like, I thought, I can't tell him to fuck off, do you know what I mean? Because it could go proper. So I'm just put my head down, go on the team coach, up the stairs, the team coach, turn right, go and sit at the back. So I'm just sitting in the back, minding my own business like that, thinking, this is mental. I'm mad. I can't wait to tell people I've had a fucking police escort. All of a sudden, the coach starts swaying fucking side. They're batting on the coach, fucking bottles coming on the coach. It starts swaying from side to side. And the driver's at the front. So I'm like, well, at least I've got the driver with me. Do you know what I mean? If we could fuck off, whatever. All of a sudden, I hear... And the door's open and the driver goes down. I went, oi, Ben, where you going? He went, you can fuck off. I'm a Spurs fan. I ain't fucking getting killed for you. So he fucks off the coach, and I'm just sat there on like that. With the little coach going sideways, going like that. Yeah, and me and Robert just finished story. So Robbo is a proper heart. He was never the same again. He didn't ruin his career, but he struggled with injuries, and it was because of that. So I'm playing for Southampton. Robbo's manager of Weymouth, and this is 4 years later, and we haven't come across each other at all. I'm come out, one of the few guys play for Southampton. I'm at the office. I'm walking down. He's walking towards me. Me and him again. Got me fish ready because my old man said, get your fucking first one in because I think he's going to go for me here because of what I've done. As I walked past and we got close to her, he went, good one, wasn't it? So I went, yeah, it was all right, to be fair. It weren't bad, was it? He said, you fucking coward. He said, you did it from behind. And we just had a chat. Me and him were like proper mates. We're really good mates now. Yeah, so, but he knew he'd done so many people. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just the law of the jungle, isn't it? Like he'd elbowed people and done people.
Well, he'd done you to be fair, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So
it started the ball in
goes
motion.
Around, comes around, exactly, yeah. So
Law of the jungle. That's the title right there. Perry, I could sit here all
Two coppers is not enough, by the way, is it?
No. Yeah. The thing is, I wasn't important enough. Do you know what I mean? If it was Merce, he'd probably have about 5 or 6, wouldn't he? He'd had helicopters fucking coming around, drones everywhere.
Honestly,
absolutely brilliant, mate. Thank you
Cheers,
very
boys.
much.
My pleasure.
Brilliant.